Good evening and welcome to Warren East High School. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders, they're raring to go at Warren East. We're underway. Warren East with a 10-5 lead early, and Steve, the Lady Raiders are off to a great start.
Right, they've hit a couple of three-pointers right out of the chute tonight and put them up, and it's off to a great start. Like you said, they were so anxious to play. They got off a couple minutes before 6 o'clock tonight.
We're thrilled to be with you again for the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. Again, you just heard from Steve Sanders doing an awesome job running the camera and bringing you analysis. Mike Cleff, yours truly, bringing you play-by-play. It is 10-5, Warren East. We're nearly halfway through the first quarter as Warren East has done it from both the inside and the outside. And Warren East trying to break a pattern that has something to do with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network and South Warren girls basketball. The Lady Spartans are undefeated in every game that we've live streamed this year. Of course, the last time we were here for Warren East girls basketball, they played a very good game in defeating Grayson County. Again, it's 10-5, 4:03 to go in the first quarter. First game of the doubleheader. The boys' game between the Spartans and the Raiders to follow. As Warren East facing a zone defense from the Lady Spartans.
Showing great patience.
And a good steal there.
Yeah, good idea. Just a lot of traffic in the lane there.
That is
a turnover for South Warren.
And here come the Lady Raiders. Oh, I thought that shot
was going in.
Kendi Lawson with a good look at it and a good attempt. Just rimmed out, barely. Here's Gracie Hodges, a little bit short. And there's the rebound for the Lady Raiders. And here comes Warren East with a 2-on-1. Nicely done.
Good.
That's Reagan Lawson.
This is the exact start that Warren East would have wanted. They put some pressure on South Warren coming up the court. Then they backed off of it. Now it looks like they're wanting to put it back on. But little contact there under the rim.
So the Lady Spartans will be shooting free throws. It'll be Jenna Lindsay for South Warren at the free throw line.
We're almost through the first quarter, and that's only the second foul of the night. So it's been a very quick first quarter.
And Steve, I thought you made a great point. Warren East off to the start, exactly what they needed.
Yeah, we've seen them show great improvement over the course of the season. It seems like forever ago that we carried that game with Grayson County. We're seeing a lot of basketball these days. So, but listen, they came ready to play tonight.
Certainly did. It's now 12-6 as South Warren converted on a free throw. Lindsay converting on one of them. Warren East with the ball with 2:35 to go in the first quarter. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. Dribbling right now, that is Sam Carver. Nice pass.
Wow, that was an awesome play.
That was.
Very well designed and very well executed from Warren East Lady Raiders.
Warren East, Steve, is using that backdoor cut into the lane early, and you mentioned really executing it really well.
I think they have the Lady Spartans just a little bit rattled right now. A couple of turnovers on 2 possessions in a row, and then they returned the favor for them. I spoke too soon, didn't I, Mike?
That's
nice
right.
block.
And here comes Sam Carver again. I'll tell you what, Steve. Lane Embry does not like to call timeouts early, but he might be calling. Yeah,
he might be trying to make the quarter, but I would say if they hit a three-pointer again and go up by double digits, he's going to have to think about it. There's another turnover.
So here we go. Warren East will have the ball. Steve, I have to admit, I'm surprised by this start with Warren East up 14-6.
I am too, but I'm happy for Warren East because it's been a challenging season at some time. So I'm glad to see them trying to put some things together. They had a turnover there, but going to get a bump.
Hope Bolin for the Lady Spartans with the steal, and as Steve mentioned, she was bumped. And the foul committed there by Riley Jones. Third foul on Warren East. Spartans have yet to commit a foul, and as Steve mentioned, that's why this first quarter has gone so quickly. The two head coaches tonight, Lane Embry for South Warren, Jenny Neville for Warren East. Bless Jenny's heart, she offered to help us carry the equipment in.
Two very good coaches, two very good people.
Yes, absolutely. So, McLean Hudson passing it around the perimeter to Hope Bolin. That's over to Ty Garrett. Inside, Moonrath, good effort, good basket.
Rebound, yeah.
South Warren needed that.
I love to see a player follow their own shot. That's kind of a lost art. People want to admire their shots instead of following their shots. And she did a good job of following her shot, and it paid off.
Gracie Hodges drives it in the lane. A little bit short. There you go, following your shot, Steve.
Yep.
And again, we talked about this all season long. I don't know what Gracie Hodges' height is. She's one of their shorter players. But, Steve, she rebounds like a center.
Right.
They did get a foul there, but...
if you're working hard on the rebound, sometimes that's going to happen.
Yep.
You won't commit a foul if you don't follow your shot and try to rebound.
Lane Embry subs Gracie Hodges out of the game. That's just to get a rest for the end of the first quarter.
I've been impressed by Warren East's ball movement.
They have done a really nice job. They've kept it crisp and flowing.
Seen some real growth, especially on the offensive end. Both teams working hard on the rebounding end. Nice steal by South Warren.
Moonrath, nicely done. Steve, again, she's South Warren's most well-rounded player. Just makes a lot of good things happen. There's a shot to end the quarter. Not quite.
Good effort.
Good first quarter.
Good first quarter. Yep. Entertaining.
We'll keep it right here since we signed on late, Steve. 14-10 South Warren leading. And, Steve, like you said, a good quarter. What impressed you with both teams to start the game?
Well, coming out of the tip and, the first couple of minutes, Warren East hit a couple of three-pointers. That got my attention real quick. We're used to seeing South Warren, Lydia Frank from the outside, but, it was nice to see Warren East hitting some outside shots. And, you expected South Warren to settle in and, try to make a run on them, which they did, but it's still a Raider lead by 4. So this could be quite an entertaining game. I'm really pleased and impressed with Coach Neville and the growth that her girls are showing. South Warren's a quality team. We know that. We've seen them against a lot of different opponents. But, both teams looking good right now. 14-10 is a good score at the end of one quarter.
And, Steve, we'll talk more about it. You mentioned we hadn't seen Warren East girls basketball for a while. It's been even longer since we've seen the Warren East boys basketball team.
Yes.
So we look forward to that matchup, our second game tonight between the Raiders and the Spartans. You can hear in the background the Warren East High School pep band doing a wonderful job. Steve and I are very pro pep band. South Warren pep band did a great job last Friday. And again, Warren East with their very nice gymnasium, really first-class facilities. And thank you so much for the hospitality extended by Principal Jonathan Vincent, Athletic Director Brandon Combs, and Assistant Athletic Director Patrick White as the Spartans get the ball to start the second quarter. Steve, I don't think McLean Hudson has scored yet.
I don't either.
You mentioned Lydia Franks hit a three.
Moonrath hit that rebound and put back.
Right now, the Lady Spartans have McLean
Has
Hudson.
Lydia hit a three?
She did hit a three. It was their first basket of the game.
All right.
She hit it over from the wing, Steve, closest to us. Moonrath triple teamed. And Sam Carver, who is a tenacious defender.
We'll get a held ball, but it'll stay go to Warren East. That's the kind of effort as a coach you want to see your players making on the floor, not giving up on a play.
Warren East right now has Ray Ellen Jones out on the court along with Kennedy Lawson. Reagan Lawson is out there, Sam Carver, and Riley Jones. For the Lady Spartans of South Warren, you have Lydia Frank, Mila Moonrath, Grace Maxwell, Hope Bolin, and McLean Hudson. We have 6:53 to go in the first half. Warren East has a 14-10 lead. South Warren has led only once briefly, 3-2. Otherwise, Warren East has led. And McLean Hudson gets the rebound. She brings it up court, and there's Frank for three. There you go, Steve.
She's going to set up in that spot every time and see if they cover her.
You know, Steve, she doesn't get her shot off quickly, but when she gets time to set up,
she gets an open look.
She does. She's accurate. 14-13. The Lady Spartans cut the deficit to 1. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. And there's the three-point attempt by Carver. No. Moonrath with the rebound. She brings it up court. Here comes McLean Hudson. Nice drive. And they're going to get, I think, Hope Bolin with the foul.
Yeah.
Can't fault that foul. Good effort by Bowman. But it's the right call. And while we have a moment of shout-out to our officials tonight, respect and appreciate their efforts. As we have 5:50 to go in the first half of our first game of the doubleheader. Warren East with a 14-13 lead. Nice pass. That was nice, Steve.
It was. Good passing, good spacing. Recognize the open player.
Results in a basket by Riley Jones. So South Warren back as Warren East is in that zone. No, but Gracie Hodges on the offensive boards again. There's McLean Hudson. Cross court to Frank. Like Steve mentioned, the Lady Raiders doing a very nice job defensively in the first half. Down low, Moonrath.
There's your spot.
Yep. Oh, boy. Again, Steve.
They might have to play a matchup zone on her and leave somebody on her.
Yep.
You can't give her that space.
That's her third three here in the first half. So, of course, Steve, I'll give a shout out to some of our elementary schools in our school district out here that funnel into Warren East. Of course, we have Warren East Middle School, but South Warren with a chance to take the lead. It's a tie game. Here comes Hodges. And that's going to be
the travel.
Yep. What is that, Steve?
Turnover.
Yep, that's right.
Well, the thing was, Frank was set up here in the near on the near sideline, ready to go. Anytime they have any kind of break or offense, that's her first go-to is that corner over here.
Warren East, after a strong first quarter, has gone dry here in the second quarter. Good defense by the Lady Spartans. Here comes McLean Hudson. And they got a block there. Looks like it went out of bounds. The Lady Spartans will keep possession. Of course, McLean Hudson, her uncle, is WKU volleyball head coach Travis Hudson. Her cousin is South Warren boys basketball player Drew Hudson. And nice shot there.
Good open look.
And Gracie Hodges gives South Warren the lead. You know, Steve, in the times we've live streamed South Warren girls basketball, Gracie Hodges just has a great instinct for the ball. They get a steal.
South Warren quietly opening up their own lead for the game.
Yep.
That could be a charge.
Yep. Good job taking the charge by Riley Jones of Warren East. Steve, I love the effort of both teams so far here in the first half. Playing hard. So we got some subs coming in. That is Hodges' second foul, so Lane Embry subs her out, also subs Moonrath out, brings in Hope Bolin, also Junipel Strode, the 8th grader, checks in, along with Ashley Overbay. See, Warren East has gone quiet here on offense.
Right. Just have one basket.
Ooh. It was a block, but they call a foul. So Sam Carver will go to the free throw line for a pair. Free throw is good. Steve, as I mentioned, and help me out here, I'm just going to run through some of the elementary schools that mostly funnel into Warren East Middle School and High School. Of course, you have Oakland Elementary, North Warren Elementary,
Bristow
Elementary,
Richardsville. Those are the ones that will feed into Warren East.
Yep. And Steve, you and I know several people that have been or are currently affiliated with those schools, and wonderful representatives of our school district.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
that's a
tough pass there.
Tough pass there. That's passing into traffic like that. We're going to get a reach in on that drive.
I'll tell you what, Steve, I thought if South Warren had converted that layup, I thought Coach Neville might get a timeout. Right. So McLean Hudson, I believe she has a chance here for her first points of the game, with the Lady Spartans leading 20-18. There you go. First free throw, good. It's now 21-18, 3:05 to go in the first half. So Hudson will try to convert this free throw. As you can tell, where Steve has us, the camera set up, we're kind of in the catbird seat tonight. It's the one place where we're on the baseline up here. And Steve, I don't know about you, I like being up here.
I do like being up here. Yep. It's a little bit different camera angle, and people have to get used to it. I have to get used to seeing it this way, but I wish I was better. I'd zoom in and out more, but I'd be afraid I'd make somebody car sick doing all that.
Oh, boy. South Warren is trying to stretch their lead to 6 or even 7. Nice pass.
Nice pass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good look at it. Didn't go. Look at the hustle again. 3 players on the floor. That's great. Great effort. Stroh kicks it out. The three-pointer there. No. Moonrath. Tell you what, Steve, Moonrath and Hodges have done a great job.
Active on the boards.
Yeah. Steve, it feels like after South Warren finally settled in and everything, they've really they've been playing like the team that we've seen.
Getting back to their offense and their game plan. But, you know, you got to tip your hats to Warren East for throwing them out of that
Yes.
first quarter. They really had them rattled a little bit.
Three-pointer, no. Long rebound to Moonrath. And
she have steps there.
I think they called a charge.
Okay. I thought you might have taken one too many steps in there.
Steve, I think Warren East has taken at least 3 charges. That's great hustle. Great hustle. First foul on Moonrath, so she's not in any kind of foul trouble. And, Steve, you know what Warren East has gotten away from is that backdoor cut down the lane. And I think Jenny Neville's going to get a timeout.
Yeah. I think that would be a good call right now.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick timeout. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
All right, welcome back to Warren East High School. 1:56 to go in the second quarter. South Warren leading Warren East 24-18. Steve, first quarter goes the Lady Raiders. Second quarter definitely going the Lady Spartans.
Momentum switched the other direction. You saw South Warren get back into more the offense that we're used to seeing them run. They're still got a pretty good percentage from the three-point arc, but one thing that's really benefited them is that they've been crashing the boards, and second shots has been great for them.
That's a great point Steve just made, and the two leading the board crashing expedition for South Warren are Gracie Hudson.
Yeah.
So we're back to action. South Warren with the ball, down low to Stroh. Good defense by the Lady Raiders, specifically Anavia Pearson. South Warren gets it back. That's Jenna Lindsay, number 3. Gets it out to Hudson. Gets it over to Ashley Overbay.
You know, Warren East is not playing bad defense.
No,
you
not
know,
at all.
They're making South Warren work. But the shots just started falling a lot better for South Warren in this second quarter.
Hudson with the strong drive. She's going to go to the line for a couple of free throws.
They're good for steps.
Oh, they are. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I stand corrected.
I thought maybe
slip.
she'd get some free throws too, but they said she took some steps first.
And Steve, as we mentioned before we went to break, when Warren East really had things clicking offensively, they were running that backdoor cut down the lane, and we haven't seen that for a while.
Right. South Warren putting a little more pressure on them now, coming up the court.
Lady Raiders, they've been stuck on 18 for a while. They need a hoop.
Just scored, after scoring 14 in the first quarter, they've only scored 4 so far. That might change right there with a good pass.
There you go. Nice pass from Anavia Pearson to Kinsey Upton. The Lady Raiders get a much-needed hoop to make it 24-20 South Warren. Pass inside. Lindsay, yes. That was nice.
Give and go right there.
That was nice. 26-20. Lady Spartans leading the Lady Raiders by 6. Ooh, that pass,
that's not a good place for a pass. Coach did a good job, got a timeout there, but yeah, that is not where you want to receive a pass.
We'll keep it right here with 32.8 seconds left. This is the 32nd timeout. 26-20 South Warren leading. Steve, we'll delve more into the second game tonight, the boys' game between the Spartans and the Raiders. Of course, we've seen the Spartans boys team a lot recently, twice in the last week. Both times against Warren Central. And the last time, Steve, we've seen Warren East, I believe, is when they faced Glasgow, or Barron County.
Barron County, yeah.
Barron County, yeah. So we'll dive into that. But, Steve, I think both coaches have to be encouraged with their teams. They both have shown, first of all, how many players have we seen on the floor in this game diving for the ball?
Yeah, great hustle, working hard on the rebounding end.
So Warren East will have the ball. The Lady Spartans of South Warren with a 26-20 lead. And here comes Sam Carver bringing the ball up court. She had such a good game when we were last here against Grayson County. Moonrath, I thought, nearly would get that steal. They'll try a three-pointer. It is up. Wow.
There you go.
Very nice.
Good come out of a timeout with a good solid play, execute. And we've got a three-point game, Mike.
Riley Bratcher with that three. We're under 6 seconds. I don't think they realize how much time's left. Now, I think that was a non-shooting foul, Steve. 1.9 seconds left.
Yep.
And so they're going to take the ball out of bounds. As Steve mentioned, it's a 3-point margin now. South Warren up by 3.
Going to have a good look to get a shot up with 1.9 seconds left. Going to be a catch and shoot.
Looks like they're trying to get it to Frank. Yep. They played good defense there. And the defense was supplied there by Madison Lawson. So we're at halftime. It is 26-23. South Warren leading Warren East. Steve, what do you think of the first half?
Man, it went fast.
Yeah.
We're on about a 25-minute half. That's a pretty quick half. First quarter, not very many fouls. 14-10, I believe. Warren East lead at the end of the first quarter, but Spartans offense kicked in. They outscored Warren East 16-9 in the second quarter. So that momentum really shifted from first quarter to second quarter.
It sure did, and as Steve mentioned, 14-10, Warren East led after the first quarter. Spartans outscored the Lady Raiders by 7 in the second quarter, and as a result, South Warren is leading Warren East 26-23. In our first game tonight, girls basketball, the boys game to follow between the Lady Raiders the Raiders and the Spartans. We're going to take a break. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. We'll be right back.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Have some mingy.
That story for the video. Shannon Sharp knows
This
better.
is a Mingy moment.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that meal, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Yeah, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
All right, welcome back to Warren East High School. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. South Warren leading Warren East 26-23. Steve, let's dive into the next game tonight, the boys matchup between the Spartans and the Raiders. Just, what are your early thoughts on this matchup? Now not so early because we're less than an hour away from the start of the game. How do you feel about this game tonight between the Spartans and Raiders?
South Warren's coming off a tough game against Warren Central. They hung in there better than any game you and I have watched with Warren Central. If they bring even a fraction of that effort against most other teams, it could very well be a tough night for the other team. South Warren, they can shoot, they can rebound, they can score, they can play defense. I wish we'd had the opportunity to see Warren East just a little bit more. I'm glad we're back, but when they played Barron County, who themselves are a good team, they hung right in there with them. What's Warren East's record right now, Mike?
I'll double check here, Steve. I was looking at that earlier, and I want to make sure I don't give you wrong information. And you mentioned it had been a while since we've seen Warren East, but I'm glad we're going to get to see him again here next Tuesday as they host Glasgow in a girls-boys doubleheader. And I was looking that up earlier, Steve, and I'll have that for you in a moment. South Warren, I believe, is now 14-4.
Yep.
Yes. After that game against Warren Central. Give me just a moment here, Steve. I'll have that looked up. And, of course, the player we'll talk about on Warren East, who is by far the Raiders' leading scorer, is Isaiah Andrews. And he's getting a lot of love from the basketball and school family at Warren East. Saying he's a terrific, obviously a terrific player, a very classy young man. Steve, Warren East is 9-7.
Okay.
And so, of course, like you mentioned, South Warren is 14-4. Warren East has won 3 of their last 4 games. They came back and beat Barron County in a rematch. They won big against Allen County Scottsville, beat them by 30. They defeated the Foundation Christian Academy. And then on the road this past Saturday, it was a home game. They lost to Davis County by 2 in overtime. So they are 9-7. The last game we did here before tonight was back on December 16th. So
more than a month.
I stand corrected, December 9th. I'm sorry. So it's been well over a month, yeah. So anyway, Steve mentioned, as we mentioned, I'll run down real quick our live streams for the rest of this week and next week. Friday, we will be at Warren Central, girls-boys basketball doubleheader. The Lady Dragons and Dragons hosting the Greenwood Gators and Lady Gators. Monday, we will be at Warren Central for a girls-boys basketball doubleheader, Christian County at Warren Central. Then we'll be back here at Warren East Tuesday for a girls-boys basketball doubleheader against Glasgow, as the Lady Raiders and Raiders will host the Lady Scotties and Scotties. And then a week from Friday, February 3rd, South Warren will visit Greenwood in a girls-boys basketball doubleheader. So that's the schedule through next Friday, a week from Friday on February 3rd. So, Steve, let me ask you, first of all, on the South Warren side. If you're Lane Embry, the South Warren head coach, what are you telling your players here at halftime?
They did a good job of pulling it together at the end of the first quarter, continue to play our game plan, rebound, play good defense, move the ball around, find the open shot.
Okay, and on the other side, Jenny Neville, the Warren East head coach. What would you be saying?
Talk to the ladies about what was going right for them in that first quarter. How did they build a 14-10 lead? At one point, it was they were up by 5, 6, 7, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was good ball movement. They were shooting better in the first quarter than they were in the second. So, you know, that's hard to tell your players is, you know, because nobody's missing a shot on purpose. But, you know, they've got to focus, relax, and get those outside three-pointers to fall, because that opens up the inside game a little bit more. Continue to play good defense, rebound, hustle. You know, good things happen when you're hustling and you're rebounding. You know, they pulled back within 3. You know, I wondered if South Warren would stretch this out quietly to double digits by the time the second quarter ended, but you know, the Lady Raiders popped back in with that three-pointer right towards the end and pulled back within 3. It's anybody's game right now.
Steve is absolutely right. 3-point margin, South Warren 26, Warren East 23. We'll take one more break. We'll be back with you for the start of the second half. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that name, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good.
Steve,
Yeah, we're
I'll
gonna take it
tell you
up.
what, the game I feel strongly about, I think
Who's not a runner
Cincinnati will
now?
beat Kansas City.
I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them.
The boys,
This is
I
our
think they will
promise,
here,
the
too.
most advanced care possible,
agree with you.
with
Yeah.
doctors, nurses,
They got a
therapists,
chip
and
on their
surgeons
shoulder
who
after 2
specialize in
losses
getting
last
kids
week.
back
Yep.
to simply
they
being
were
kids
14
again.
and 2
We
going
are
into
UK
last week.
Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Welcome back to Warren East High School. We're about ready for the start of the second half between the Lady Raiders and the Lady Spartans of South Warren. South Warren leading 26-23. Want to thank our sponsors, Med Center Health, UK Healthcare, Mingy Beef Jerky. Steve, one thing that's great with a matchup between 2 schools in our district is that we see so many familiar faces in attendance. That's great.
Yeah.
The boys' game to follow between the Raiders and the Spartans. South Warren will come into that game with a season record of 14-4. Warren East with a season record of 9-7. You hear the buzzer, and we're about ready to go. As I mentioned in earlier live streams this year, Steve, they put a new logo on this court and redid the court floor. It looks fantastic.
It does. Good finish on it. I like that. Like the layout, like the color scheme.
So we are underway. South Warren with the ball. Warren East in the zone. They better get on Lydia Frank, Steve.
Right. Look, even I know where she's going to end up being.
Yep. They need a radar detector for number 30. There's McLean Hudson. Oh, boy, nice. Three-pointer, and it's 29-23. Just the way the Lady Spartans want to start the second half.
Get a 10-second call.
Wow, good defense by South Warren. South Warren comes into tonight's game with a season record of 10-11, while Warren East comes in with a season record of, Warren East comes in 5-12, South Warren 10-11. But South Warren's been playing really well lately. They did lose to Breckenridge County on Saturday, but of course we saw them defeat Warren Central on Friday. They have won 5 of their last 8 games. So they go inside to Hudson, triple teamed, out to Gracie Hodges. That's nice basketball, Steve. That's nice basketball.
Coach Neville's going to have to be careful, I'm sure. I'm not telling her anything, but, you know, it's going to be real easy to go down big, quick, if South Warren continues to hit from the three-point line.
Boy.
Nice answer by Warren East.
Sam Carver with the 3, and like Steve said, a nice answer. And in an understatement, Steve, the Lady Raiders needed that hoop. 32-26, South Warren leading. There's Lydia Frank being guarded by Kennedy Lawson. Seems like there's about 8 Lawsons on the Warren East roster.
Block there.
There's actually 3. Here come the Lady Raiders.
Good decision to pull it back out, not force the issue.
I'll tell you what, Steve, I'm so impressed with the one handling the ball for Warren East, number 10, Sam Carver.
It's a really nice game tonight.
Yep. Okay.
Good move.
That is nice.
Good head fake.
Yep. Mila
Couldn't get it to fall.
Yep.
There's Moonrath on the boards.
No fault there. Warren East did a good job. It just didn't go, and good basketball by McLean Hudson. Strong drive. She'll get a couple of free throws out of it. Kyle Benge, the Warren East head coach, waiting for the second game to start. Again, as Steve and I mentioned, it'll be the first time we've seen Warren East boys basketball since December 9th. Travis Hudson, the WKU volleyball head coach, in attendance. Of course, his son Drew plays for the boys team. His niece is out of the court right now. She's at the free throw line. And so Hudson will try to give the Lady Spartans a 7-point lead. Rims out. Again, Steve, if Warren East can get a bucket here and get this to within 4-3.
Nice pass.
Yeah, nicely done. Riley Jones with the inside hoop.
You know, we talked about them going back to the formula they were using the first quarter, and I believe they have, because I was worried that South Warren was going to blow that lead out, but, you know, Warren East has come right back on them.
Grace Maxwell, offensive rebound and basket, and it's 34-28, Lady Spartans. 4:56 to go in the third quarter. That's Sam Carver driving down the lane. Ooh, in and out. And Warren East will retain possession after the ball goes off the Lady Spartans. Of course, you hear in the background the outstanding public address announcer for Warren East, Andy Wagner. His son
nice
was that was nice. His son was a baseball standout for Warren East, and he now works in media relations at Murray State. So this is Anna Via Pearson, and Steve, she's come off the bench and given some good minutes for Coach Neville.
Yeah, nice free throw for him there.
Yep. And Riley Bratcher checks back in for the Lady Raiders. Reagan Lawson is in, along with Ray Ellen Jones. I'll take it even a step further. If you say the last name of Lawson or Jones on the Warren East roster, there's a good chance.
A lot of them are in the game.
Yeah. So it's 34-29, South Warren leading. Blaine Embry is in attendance too, the head coach of South Warren girls basketball, head coach Blaine Embry. This is McLean Hudson dribbling out front, 34-29. Lady Spartans ahead, 4:26 to go in the third quarter. That's Hope Bolin now dribbling out front, being guarded by Anna Via Pearson. That's Mila Moonrath over to Grace Maxwell. Maxwell, good defense by the Lady Raiders. Bolin will try a 3. No. There's Moonrath on those offensive boards again, but Lady Raiders.
Good hands by the Lady Raiders.
Yep. And a good job right there by Reagan Lawson not to travel after getting the loose ball. Oh, boy. That's a pass Carver would like to have back. Hudson, that's going to be a foul.
Yeah, anytime you swipe over the top at a player on a layup attempt, they're going to call it every time.
Of course, Kyle Benj is the Warren East head coach. We mentioned he's sitting in the bleachers watching this game while his team gets dressed for the boys' game. Principal Jenny Hester has arrived, the South Warren principal. Of course, Carlos Corals, affectionately known as Coach Q, the South Warren boys basketball coach, doing such a fabulous job in his first season as the Spartans head basketball coach. Coach Benj is in his second year with the Raiders. So the free throws by Hudson are good. And Steve, you kind of feel like this game, South Warren is close to, making that lead insurmountable for the Lady Raiders.
Well, the whole notion of it, they have a comfortable lead. You feel like they're settling into that. That was a good shot attempt right there, a good look.
Yeah.
Just rattled around.
Lady Raiders get the offensive rebound. They get it over to Carver.
Another good look. Well, she might have got it. Moonrath might have got just a tiny piece of that one.
This is Jenna Lindsay in transition. Gets it over to Hope Bolin. Junipel Strode. That is Grace Maxwell. And now Moonrath with the ball out front, being guarded by Carver. We're under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, 2:51 to be exact. It's 36-29, South Warren leading, as the Lady Spartans are trying to get back to the 500 mark on the season. Lady Raiders trying to win for the sixth time this season. Stroh, the eighth grader, nicely done.
Off the glass there.
Steve, you can see why Coach Embry plays her as an eighth grader. She's got some skills.
Leah Trent at Greenwood, she's been going a long time for the Lady Gators since in her middle school years also. Nice pass.
It was a nice pass. The shot wouldn't go, and
frustration foul caused that foul right there. It was a good look and just couldn't get the shot to fall and reached over and fouled.
It's 38-29. South Warren with their biggest lead of the game. 9-point margin with 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Lady Spartans have the ball. They've committed just one foul here in the second half. Warren East has committed 3. So we're not close yet to a bonus situation for either team. Moonrath down low. She's going to go to the line for a couple of free throws. I don't know, Steve. South Warren, you just feel like if you're Coach Embry, you feel like if we get a couple of baskets, we might be able to put this game away, even though there's a lot of time left. Moonrath will try to make the second free throw. That's Cece Martier checking in for the Lady Raiders. Second free throw, no good. And Warren East gets the rebound. That's Bratcher over to Madison Lawson. They needed that
shot. They did.
Reagan Lawson with the triple, and that brings them back within 6. Much needed hoop for the Lady Raiders. Stroh, she might have traveled. Yep.
I think what's held Warren East in this is, they are playing some good defense, and that's a good example of it.
They did. They've been good.
Kind of swarm that ball handler down low and forcing them into some turnovers.
We'll keep it right here, Steve, and see that last 3 by Reagan Lawson.
It was huge.
That was huge. That was. You're right. I mean, and what Warren East has done really well defensively, they've been quick on those double and triple teams to converge on the South Warren ball handler when they get the ball in the lane. Want to give another props? You can hear in the background the Warren East Pep Band. Just like South Warren's Pep Band last Friday, great job by both the Spartans Pep Band and the Raiders Pep Band. Those young men and young women put in a lot of time practicing, and so they could perform tonight. And remember, they performed both games. So big shout out to them. Nicely done. I'm very pro-band, Steve.
Yes. Yep. I am also. Those kids put a lot of their heart and soul into what they do.
Yep. Steve, this has been a good game.
It's very, very entertaining and
Yep.
you know, some good scoring tonight from both teams.
Ooh. So Warren East will come back out with the ball. And we have Reagan Lawson out there.
See South Warren going to put some pressure on.
Yep. There's Moonrath nearly with the steal. Goes out of bounds. Lady Raiders are going to take possession. And Warren East will inbounds. They get it out to Reagan Lawson. She's being guarded by Moonrath. That's Riley Bratcher inside to CeCe Martier. And this is Madison Lawson, number 21. Nice drive. And she's going to go to the line. Nicely done, Steve.
Yes. Yep.
You know what, Steve, what I liked there, she drives the lane. She had an angle, but when she went up for the shot, she leaned in, so the Lady Spartans defender had to make contact and foul her. That's a smart play.
Right. Heads-up play.
Yeah.
By a good player.
Good to get a couple of free throws. First one is not quite there. So Madison Lawson will try to cut the South Warren lead to 5. With 1:11 to go in the third quarter, the boys' game to follow between South Warren and Warren East. We're at the Warren East High School Gymnasium tonight. Wonderful facility. As it's now a 5-point game, Madison Lawson converting on the second free throw. This is Jenna Lindsay as Warren East has gone to a man-to-man, except Martier is playing a one-person zone in there now.
Yeah.
She's out on Maxwell. No. Good rebound. Riley Jones, who's had a solid game tonight for the Lady Raiders. So Warren East with a chance to get within 3, perhaps 2. Oh boy, Steve.
Sloppy play all of a sudden right there.
I can't see the arrow from where it's at here, Steve. I think it's with Warren East. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I believe it looks like it is by the way everybody's going.
Okay. So
yeah,
again,
I don't have a good view of it either.
37.
The arrow on the scoreboard saying Warren East.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. And I just noticed that. You're right. Thank you. So.
Of course, they haven't switched it, and now it's another held ball, so it'll be Spartans. They did switch it. So
okay.
Be Spartans ball. And
32.8 seconds left. It's 38-33. South Warren. They go to Ashley Overbay, and nice steal by the Lady Raiders.
Yep. Unforced turnover.
And we're going to have a foul there. Moonrath trying to make the steal, and she made contact with Madison Lawson. So just South Warren's third foul of the half. So Warren East will inbounds. And this time Reagan Lawson will inbound. You would think that Warren East would hold for the final shot of the quarter.
I would think so, with 16 left.
We're down to 8 seconds left. Lawson definitely looked at the clock. Now we're down to 2. Long three-point attempt. Oh, boy. You know, for just having to heave that up there, that was a good attempt.
Good effort, yeah.
Well,
I think Coach Neville might have wanted him to move a little faster and get a little closer.
We've played 3 quarters. South Warren leading Warren East 38-33. We'll take a break. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network on Prep Spin.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to Warren East High School. Fourth quarter just underway between the Lady Raiders and the South Warren Lady Spartans in Steve. What has been a good basketball
It's been a
game.
very good basketball game, very entertaining. Both teams got good effort tonight, you know, and I know there's no moral victories in it for anybody, but, you know, both these teams are still scrapping and still hustling for this game tonight. And, you know, we're in a 5-point game with the ball with Warren East to cut it to, 3 or 2.
Of course, the big difference between these two programs this year, Steve, there you go. That
Nice
backdoor
pass. There's
cut.
that backdoor cut you were talking about earlier, and it worked again.
Basket by Ray-Ellen Jones. Steve, the big difference this year is these two teams will not see each other in district play. So
Warren East moved to a different district.
Yep.
So this is it for them this year,
the only
playing each other unless they were to somehow meet somewhere in the state tournament.
Yep. Maxwell turnaround, no. Good rebound there by Sam Carver.
Chance to tie it or cut it to 1.
Carver.
Now's the time to it's exciting to know you're this close, but you still have to be patient. Still have to run your offense. Don't get lured into taking a bad shot just to try to tie it or get closer.
Here's Carver. Kennedy Lawson. Again, there's 3 Lawsons who play. Madison Lawson, Reagan Lawson, and
Kennedy.
Yeah. You know something, Steve? I just thought about it. They're named after presidents.
Well, I hadn't thought about that either.
Yeah. And McLean Hudson's fouled on the drive to the hoop. Of course, Madison, named after President James Madison, I believe, was referring to.
He was definitely a president.
Yep. Of course, Kennedy Lawson, that's John F. Kennedy, and then Reagan Lawson, Ronald Reagan. So first free throw, no good. 38-35. South Warren leading Warren East, 6:14 to go. Steve, the two head coaches, I just love their demeanor. You know, they're not ranting and raving and screaming and everything. They're into the game, but they're supportive of their team. Good coaches.
Well, you know what your girls can do, and you know what they do best, and you have to stay within that.
Yep.
Okay. Turnover.
That's painful, Steve, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially when you're this close, when it's this tight of a game, you hate to see those.
Yeah.
Where South Warren's, had some unforced turnovers tonight also.
Yes, they have. And I tell you who's not had an open look at a 3 for a while, Steve, is Lydia Frank. Nice play here. Here's someone else, Steve, who's had a nice game. That is up. Oh boy.
My goodness.
Steve, how did that not go in?
I don't know.
Wow.
Between the 2 shots, it touched every bit of that rim.
I was mentioning Riley Jones has had a nice game for Warren East. She nearly had a steal and a layup.
Warren East has really picked up the defense.
There's Hudson. Nice. And
Coach Embry took a timeout there.
Yep. Something he likes to do usually early in the fourth quarter, just to set a defense. I think we'll keep it here, Steve. I think he's going to set some sort of a full court pressure, perhaps a half court trap after that. But
I wonder also if he, sometimes takes that just to give his girls just a quick breather before they go through the stretch.
Right.
The last 5 minutes here.
Right now, Warren East has 5 fouls in the second half. South Warren has committed just 3. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. I want to thank our sponsors, Med Center Health, UK Healthcare, along with Mingy Beef Jerky. Your options for watching our live stream, prepspin.com or go.prepspin.com. You can go to the Prep Spin Facebook or Twitter page. You can go to Roku or Fire Stick TV and look for Prep Spin, or you can go to our school district WarrenCountySchools.org. I want to thank the Prep Spin CEO and co-owner, William Warfield, for all of his efforts and his tremendous support. William is very busy working the Class A basketball tournament over in Richmond. So,
man, there's action in that tournament everywhere.
It really is, isn't it? I'll tell you this about William. In the mornings, he needs a strong cup of coffee because I know he's...
You know, you've got that tournament going on, and then, you know, you're in the heart of district play for all the other teams, all the other classes in the state. I mean, this is the crucial time for these teams, you know, just about 2 or 3 weeks out from their district tournaments.
Look at that, Steve. Look at
There
that.
we go. She's been quiet for a long time. But
Lydia Frank, the three-pointer. It's now an 8-point South Warren lead, her first 3 of the second half. Lady Spartans trying to answer. Good defense. I believe that was McLean Hudson. You know who we haven't seen much here in the second half? See, she finally got back on the court. That was
nice
Gracie
entry
Hodges.
pass. There you go.
There we go. That was Riley Jones. Her and Sam Carver have had really nice games for Warren East tonight.
Still just a 6-point game.
Yep. Gracie Hodges handling the ball, one of the 4 South Warren seniors. Frank will try a 3. No. And there is Reagan Lawson with the rebound. As Warren East will try to get it back within 4 or perhaps 3. We've hit the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. It has been a good basketball game. Biggest lead, South Warren's had it at 9. Hodges with the steal. Inside to Moonrath. There's Frank. Nope. The rebound by Ashley Overbay. Here's Hodges. Very nice. They call blocks, so Gracie Hodges with a chance for the conventional three-point play.
Three-point play coming up.
She's, you know, you talk to Gracie Hodges before the game or talk to her afterwards. Very pleasant, very, very even-keeled, nice demeanor. I see her, you know, Steve and I see her mom here a lot, Christy. And yet on the court, Steve, she is tough as nails.
Yeah.
Free throws a little bit long. I think they're going to get a, nope, what are they going to get, a foul, Steve?
Yeah. 21.
Okay. Ashley Overbay committing the foul. So that's South Warren's 4th foul here in the second half. South Warren's in the bonus. Warren East has 6 fouls. Oh, boy. Hudson with the steal. And they're going to get a foul, so Hudson will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Steve, it's not so much when or that the turnovers have taken place, but does it feel like the Warren East turnovers have just happened at the most inopportune times?
Right. They get within 3, 4, and they're coming down, and you get a turnover. You know, South Warren's had some turnovers tonight, definitely, but have seemed to be like that right there, even though it wasn't a turnover. You know, the active hands of South Warren is causing that turnover. Both teams have had a lot of unforced turnovers.
Seems like
they've stepped out of bounds, they've thrown the ball away, they've traveled.
Is it just me, or does it seem like South Warren's had a lot of deflections tonight, Steve?
Yeah, they've really got active hands. Yep. Warren East calling a 30-second timeout here.
We'll keep it here. 45-37, 3:12 to go. South Warren leading. Big story here. South Warren is in the 1-and-1 for the rest of the game, at least, as Warren East has committed 7 fouls. The Lady Spartans have committed just 4 fouls, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on here. Steve, what have you liked what you've seen from South Warren, and what have you liked what you've seen from Warren East?
I've liked the hustle on both teams. I've liked the hustle, and I've liked the defense on both teams. You know, they played 45-37 is a good, respectable score for both teams, but despite that being a good score, both teams have played good defense. Both teams have just shot pretty well and gotten some good shots and some good looks. But the defense and the overall effort on both teams has been good.
That makes 2 of us, Steve, that feel that way. 3-pointer by Lawson.
There we go. 5-point game again.
Nicely designed inbounds play. That was a huge three-pointer.
5 points is not unthinkable with 3 minutes to go.
And obviously you still
need a turnover here or something like that.
Yep. Hodges down the lane, and that's what Gracie Hodges does well. Drives the lane, will draw contact.
Yep. Break you down and find that way to the rim.
This will be a 2-shot foul. Hodges was in the act of shooting. That's 8 fouls on Warren East. So 2 more fouls, and South Warren will be in the double bonus. Hodges makes the first free throw.
But, from the Lady Raiders standpoint, it stops the clock.
It does.
So, even though she hit both free throws, it happened with no time coming off.
It's a 7-point Lady Spartans lead with 2:47 to go in the game.
There's some good pressure being put on. Watch the pass. It's good. Got it over half court.
Like you said, Steve, they don't have to rush things.
No, they need to be patient, get good looks.
That shot is errant. It goes out of bounds.
Stay with Warren East.
And from where I'm at compared to Steve right now, Steve has a better vantage point. So sometimes I can't tell from this side who the ball went off of. As Grace Maxwell checks in for Ashley Overbay with 2:27 to go, and South Warren leading Warren East 47-40. Martier gets it to Carver, over to Bratcher. That's Reagan Lawson. Uh-oh. That's
one too many interior passes there, I believe.
Yep. Lydia Frank would normally take that 3-point shot, but with a 7-point lead and nearing the 2-minute mark, she's going to pass it around.
Just need to be patient. It's okay to take the shot. Make sure it's a shot you want.
Yep.
And if you're going to miss it, get the rebound.
Yep.
I think Moonrath lost that one on the way. She was gathering it up and going to the rim all at the same time.
So it'll be Warren East ball with 1:55 to go. And the Lady Raiders need to make up 7 points at least in the next minute 55. South Warren with full court pressure, which has been effective. The Raiders get it across half court. Here comes Bratcher. And that pass,
almost deflected in.
It almost did. Moonrath gets the loose ball, gets to Hodges, and South Warren is going to be very patient in their half-court offense. As a minute and a half is left, and the Lady Spartans have a 7-point lead. Down low to Hudson. This is Overbay. Moonrath out front. 3 of the Lady Spartans seniors are out of the court. Lydia Frank, Gracie Hodges, and Mila Moonrath, and Lane Embry's going to call a timeout here. Or did they get a foul? They got a foul.
I think they got a foul. Yep. Warren East really had to foul to break that, because that'll put them at the line, which is actually better, because if they just inbounded it, they would just go right back to the same thing. So now after these foul shots, either they get a rebound or they get the ball in out of bounds.
Another one that came in tonight.
Off the bank there. The bank is open tonight, Mike.
That's right.
At least that location.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nick Lowe has arrived, the former South Warren and Greenwood athletic director. He's now an assistant principal.
Nice job. Coach Embry making some offense-defense substitutions.
Grace Maxwell, one of those substitutions Steve alluded to. So the Lady Raiders down 9. Yep.
We're getting to a time when this is going to be a tough road to travel. A minute to go, down by 9, and you're really, you got a turnover like that. That just makes it tough. But listen, that's not to discount the effort tonight by both teams.
Absolutely right. Both teams' effort has been A+. South Warren under a minute left with a 9-point lead, and they're in the double bonus the rest of the game.
Right. Warren East is probably going to have to look to, if they don't get a steal quick, to go ahead and foul. Even though it puts South Warren at the line, it stops the clock.
And I think now they're trying to foul the right person.
I'm not sure who that is, because I've seen a lot of them hitting some good free throws tonight.
Yep. And,
there you go.
Yep. They're going to call Sam Carver on the push on McLean Hudson. I don't know how many times McLean Hudson's been to the foul line tonight. But
Several.
Yes. So, barring something out of
But you know, in their defense, at some point, Mike, you know, you just got to foul whoever's
Sure.
got it. You got to foul the person with the ball. So,
Yep.
you know, you can't foul somebody that doesn't have the ball.
So Hudson makes the first free throw, and barring something totally shocking, South Warren's going to win this game. They're up 50-40 with 32.6 seconds left.
But, you know, I don't think the score will ultimately be the story of this game. It was a much closer game in stretches than you know, 10, 12, 14-point score will show.
Agreed. As South Warren gets the steal, and I have a feeling now they're going to try to run out the clock as Moonrath has the ball. And I think Coach Embry's telling them just no shots. No shots. And what did Coach Embry call a timeout?
Yeah.
Yeah, he called a timeout.
Player was in a little bit of a tight spot, and you still don't want to,
Yeah.
you know, you don't want the game to just get sloppy on you.
Now, Coach Embry's drawing up a play here, Steve, but I would
say it's just an inbounds play.
Yeah. You know, Steve, and guess what? Holds true to form.
Right.
We live stream South Warren
Yeah.
girls basketball.
I love this effort by the Warren East girls tonight.
I do too. I do too.
The team that we saw tonight is vastly improved over the team we saw the last time we covered them.
Yeah.
But you're right, South Warren again hasn't been beaten when they're on the Warren County Sports Network. So, but
that was scary. I hope Gracie Hodges is okay. She gets up. Oh, that was scary, Steve. I'm glad she's up.
Yeah.
She's grinning, so that's – obviously she's going to get a couple of free throws here. I'll say it again, Steve. You see her, and she's so pleasant and polite and sweet-natured, but she's tough as nails. Yeah. She's – makes the first free throw. I know her mom, Christy, is very proud of her. And we'll run this down. Final seconds as they'll get the ball over to three-point attempt. No good by Raylan Jones. And that's your final, 52-40. Steve, as you mentioned, positives for both teams, but the scoreboard, the winning team on the scoreboard is South Warren. An enjoyable game.
Right.
So, Steve, what do you think caused South Warren to get things turned around late in the first quarter and then taking the lead in the second quarter?
Well, just, you know, getting back into playing their game, you know, running their offense. You know, it's they got a little rattled. You know, Warren East had some really strong defense there early on, and I think it kind of rattled them a little bit, honestly.
Yep.
And, you know, it took South Warren an entire quarter to kind of get themselves pulled together. And, you know, but once they did, we saw the offense that we're used to seeing from South Warren. And, you know, but again, I think it's important to note that when South Warren, you know, caught up and took over a little bit, Warren East continued to battle, and this game was never a blowout. Like I said, 52-40 is not indicative of the entire game.
I think it was the biggest margin of victory for South Warren.
It was, but, you know, part of that is fouling at the end and free throws and things like that. The game was closer than that the entire way.
With after tonight's results, Warren East is now 5-13 on the season. South Warren now back to the 500 mark at 11-11 on the season. And I certainly echo Steve's thoughts. Lots of positives for both teams. Leading the way, just great effort by both teams. There were countless dives on the floor and going for loose balls.
Spartans taking the court to get warmed up, and the Warren East men are down right below us here, just about ready to go onto the court for their warm-ups. You know, that was an efficient game. It was just about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yep. So we should start our second game right around
right on
7:30.
time. Yep. Both teams are on the court warming up.
So we're going to take a break. Steve and I will be right back with more to talk about with boys basketball. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network on Prep Spin.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Yeah, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
All right, welcome back to Warren East High School. The first game of our doubleheader in the books. South Warren girls basketball defeats Warren East 52-40. I'm telling you, Steve, South Warren, Coach Embry needs to add us to their program.
He used to buy us dinner or something.
And again,
even if he just goes across the street and gets us some takeout.
yeah. But again, Steve, not to be overlooked, as you mentioned, if I'm Jenny Neville, the Warren East head coach, I'm really proud of her team because they played their tails off and did a lot of really good things, and especially in the first quarter, they ran that half-court offense to perfection.
Well, we've seen them make continuous improvement all throughout the season. And again, I know there's no such thing as a moral victory. You know, you win or you lose as far as your record goes. But, you know, they've got some quality players. And they put forth a lot of effort tonight. They hung in that game. You know, it was a great effort on both sides.
It certainly was. Warren East had, I believe, a 7-point lead in the first quarter. They led by 4 after the first quarter. South Warren came back to lead by 3 at the half. And then they stretched it out at the end of the third quarter, but it was still a very close game. And then, as Steve mentioned, the final score not indicative, but of how competitive it was. There were fouls that Warren East had to commit at the end of the game. Lady Spartans made some free throws, and that's how things ended up. So, as Steve mentioned, Warren East and South Warren warming up for the boys' game. Steve, let's start with the team we have not seen for a long time, and that's Warren East. Steve, besides the final score, what do you remember about the first time that we saw the Raiders this season?
Of course, you know, Isaiah Andrews is a workhorse. You know, he's a top-notch scorer in this area, and you know, their offense is going to flow through him.
You know, the other player, Steve, that I remember, I believe Warren East fell behind by as much as 24 in the first half. In fact, I think it was the first quarter. They got it within 5, and I think a guy they brought up the bench, one of their seniors, Roger Duncan, really gave them some good energy.
He did.
Of course, he was a wide receiver and tight end on the football team that made it to the regional final. But, yes, what Steve said about Isaiah Andrews, he's their leading scorer, he's their leading rebounder, and Raiders Nation loves him. They're really touting him, telling a lot of colleges he's a great kid to add. Terrific basketball player, classy young man. So, of course, their head coach, the Raiders, is Kyle Benge in his second season with Warren East, and the Raiders come in with a season record of 9-7. Okay, Steve, on the South Warren side, this is a team we've seen a lot lately. In fact, twice in the last week. First year under head coach Carlos Corals, Coach Q. South Warren, 14-4. They have lost twice. But Steve, recently, but you got to take into account who they lost to.
They lost twice to potentially the number one team in the state.
So,
you know, we both agreed last week that a player that really impressed us for them was their point guard, goalie.
Yep.
You know, he played a great game against Warren Central. You know, you got to have a quality point guard to play against Warren Central. They put such pressure on your players to make good decisions and good passes. And, you know, he had a terrific game. I don't care if he scored a single point. I don't think he scored too much. But, you know, some ways he and Rowe would be co-MVPs of the game as far as South Warren goes because they were both. I don't think South Warren would have had nearly the game without either one of them.
You know, Stephen, don't you feel like defensively on Isaiah Andrews of Warren East that Coach Q will shuttle 3, perhaps 4 guys to guard him?
Right. What does Bill Belichick say he's going to do defensively?
He's going to take away your best player.
He's going to take away your best player and make the other ones beat you.
Yep.
You know, and that works, and not just in football. It works in basketball also. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see who comes out and guards him first. You know, likewise, you know, who's going to guard Brandon Rowe first for Warren East.
Steve mentioned Brandon Rowe. He took a scary spill.
He did, man. That was you know, sometimes you can judge spills by the volume, the noise that they create. And we're pretty high up when we're at South Warren. We're pretty far away from the court, and that was a loud thud when he hit. I think it was more coming down, you know, on his lower back and his tailbone than anything else. But nonetheless, it made a noise that I would have not wanted to be the person falling.
It was great to see. He came back and finished the game. Nothing dirty about the play.
No,
nothing dirty.
No. Coach Unsell would have not stood for anything like that.
Nope. And, of course, Brandon Rowe warming up right now and will be playing tonight. Steve and I saw him in the parking lot.
There's his dad coming in, Marcellus.
What a wonderful guy. What a great guy. And he's talking to he's got a ball cap on, but he's a Warren East supporter, and Marcellus knows him. So, and the thing, Steve, you mentioned Isaiah Andrews. He's such a tough matchup because he's 6'5", 6'6".
Right. And he's got a great first step. He's quick. He's got good hands. You know, he's not going to be he's not posting people up left and right. You know, he's playing out on the perimeter. He's got a good outside shot.
Yep.
Can beat you off the dribble. He can get to the rim. You know, that tough matchup.
You know, and Steve, I'm glad you mentioned, again, Andrew Goley, the South Warren point guard, number 1. He did not score in that game. And yet, you and I agreed, he was their best player. And he just does so many of the grit and the grind and the elbow greasing and just such a key player for Coach Q. So we're probably about 11 minutes away from the start of this game. The first game won tonight by South Warren girls basketball by a final of 52-40. And Steve, I'm so glad. You know, Warren East, of course, has moved to a different district. They're now in the 15th district. And yet that's why I'm so glad that South Warren and Warren East are still facing each other in the regular season.
Right. I think, you know, it's good to have those rivalries that are more traditional than geographic.
Yep. Of course, Warren East has a very proud sports tradition, and they had their Hall of Fame induction ceremony about a week and a half ago. And congratulations to those inductees. They had it here during a girls-boys basketball doubleheader between games. And want to thank the wonderful people here for their great hospitality with Warren East. Principal Jonathan Vincent, Athletic Director Brandon Combs, and Assistant Athletic Director Patrick White. Thank you so much. They do a wonderful job and make our job so enjoyable and really make things go smoothly for us. So congratulations. Also, or thank you to them. Also want to thank our leadership, Superintendent Rob Clayton, Chief Operations Officer Jason Cupchella, and Chief Financial Officer Chris McIntyre. I also want to thank William Warfield, the CEO and co-owner of Prep Spin. So we are going to take another break. Steve and I will be back to talk more about this matchup between South Warren and Warren East in boys basketball. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, brought to you by Prep Spin.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Yeah, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
All right, welcome back to Warren East High School. We're a little over 5 minutes away from the start of the second game tonight between the Spartans of South Warren and the home team, the Raiders of Warren East. The girls' game won tonight by South Warren by a final of 52-40. Again, you can watch and listen to our live stream on the following options: prepspin.com or go.prepspin.com, the PrepSpin Facebook and Twitter pages, Roku or Fire Stick TV. Just look for PrepSpin, or our school district's website, warrencountyschools.org. So also, we gave a shout out that glad to see Warren East and South Warren facing each other in basketball despite being in different districts. Warren East will play Greenwood in boys basketball. We will live stream that game, Steve, and I'm double checking the schedule on that. We will be at Greenwood, Warren East at Greenwood, on Friday, February 10th. So we'll look forward to that. Steve, you having fun doing this?
I do. Yeah, I enjoy it, especially on good games like tonight.
That first game was good. What'd you enjoy most about it, Steve? The effort?
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. So anyway, Steve, I'll just get some thoughts on our doubleheader on Friday. Of course, this is a rematch from when we saw these teams. I'm talking about Warren Central and Greenwood.
Right.
It'll be a 3-week span. And the girls' game, Warren Central really played toe-to-toe with Greenwood for a while. The boys' game, I'm really curious to see how Greenwood will respond to Warren Central, because that first matchup, quite frankly, is a game that the Gators would like to forget.
Well, you know, we also have to remember that the Gators were missing their starting backcourt that night.
True.
And as we talked about with goalie, Warren Central put such pressure on your ball handlers that, you know, that just made even more pressure on on Greenwood because their starting backcourt wasn't in there, their normal ball handlers, and it forced Coach McCoy to have to use a lot of players to bring the ball up. And, it's just Warren Central puts a lot of pressure on you, and there's just no getting around it. They're going to.
Steve, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm strictly going off memory. You mentioned Andrew Goley. In those 2 games that we live streamed, the South Warren Central boys basketball games, I don't remember Goley making a turnover against that full court press.
No, he did a good job, and I remember that after the game had been going a few minutes, and South Warren was hitting some shots. It forced Warren Central to relax that pressure just a little bit. It didn't go away, but they needed to play a little bit more better defense down on South Warren's end, and that forced them to relax that pressure just a little bit. But of course, Warren Central just wears you down. They're just relentless, and so many of their players, they've got 4 or 5 players that could take over a game at any given moment, whether it's Whitney or Unseld or Walk Up, Villaforte shooting. They've just got so many offensive outlets. And, we've talked about with Greenwood, Stansberry's an outstanding outside shooter, and Pettis is a great driver and slasher and interior passer, but they've got to find that secondary score. They've got to find somebody that can put up, 10, 15, 20 points a night. Because even if Stansberry, the last time we saw him, I believe, but prior to that, right after that Greenwood game, I guess it was Butler County, he had 32.
Yeah.
That's a great night for a shooter, but you got to have somebody else putting up 10, 15, 20 points along with that. Warren Central is going to shut you down if you don't.
Steve, I thought when we were packing up last Friday, we got to talk after the game along with before the game, but after the game with South Warren Athletic Director Jeffrey Ashby, who's been so great to us. And Jeffrey Ashby was really proud of his boys basketball team. He said, we gave them our best shot. He was proud of them.
Yep.
And he described the Warren Central team, he said, the Dragons are a generational team.
Yep.
You don't see a team like that. You see them once in several years. He's that impressed with them.
Coach Unseld's got 6, 7, 8 players that are playing at an extremely high level. Probably, 6, 7, and 8 could be starting on any other team. So, coming off the bench for Warren Central is not a bad thing. There's some great players coming off that bench.
There are. There certainly are. So, again, reason we're talking about Warren Central and Greenwood, that's where we'll be at Warren Central Friday for the girls-boys basketball doubleheader between the Lady Dragons and Dragons, as they will host the Lady Gators and Gators of Greenwood, and we'll be on with you at 6 o'clock. And perhaps we ought to go on at 5:55, Steve, if it holds forward to tonight. We start a few minutes early. And so that's where things stand. We're about a minute away from the start of this game. Steve, I think on the Warren East side, I think the key is they've got to find a second guy to get some scoring besides Isaiah Andrews.
Right.
They don't have to score 25, but they've got to score somewhere between.
They've got to draw They've got to draw the defense away from Andrews. They've got to score enough or be enough of a threat to get the defense to have to come off him.
Right. Anyway, we're getting ready to start here, and in just a little bit, we'll let the tremendous public address announcer for Warren East, Andy Wagner, introduce us to the starting lineups for tonight's game. And a number of the Warren East boys basketball players were on the Raiders football team that had such a tremendous regular season. They went undefeated, 10-0 in the regular season. They won 2 postseason games before falling in the regional finals. They finished 12-1. Their first undefeated season in 10 years. We'll hand it over to Andy Wagner. All right, those are our starting lineups, and we're ready to play basketball. Again, South Warren comes in with a season record of 14-4. The Warren East Raiders come in with a season record of 9-7. Want to give another shout out to the grandparents of Brandon Rowe of South Warren, Algie and Betty Smith from Russellville.
Hope they're tuning in tonight.
Yep. So we're about ready. It'll be Isaiah Andrews jumping against Brandon Rowe, and I think we're going to say their names a lot tonight,
right.
Steve. And South Warren wins the tip. That's Justin Posey with the ball, the goalie. He is being guarded by Caleb Prince. Kajarius Barber, number 41, and goalie. And what are they going to call there, Steve?
They'll call out on Warren East, be South Warren's ball.
Okay.
It was a kind of a dangerous pass there, interior. They're really tight inside there.
Caden Morrell is starting tonight for Warren East along with Brendan Bratcher. South Warren is starting Andrew Linhart, Brandon Rowe, Andrew Goalie, Justin Posey, and Wells Bratcher. Warren East also starting Isaiah Andrews. I mentioned there's the steal by the Raiders. Taking it in nicely.
Yep.
Caden Morrell. He starts along with Kajarius Barber, Isaiah Andrews, Brandon Bratcher, and Caleb Prince. Goalie with the drive.
Euro step, nice move.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Steve, the more I watch him, the more impressed I am with him.
Yeah, it's good body control. Didn't make the charge, avoided the contact.
Warren East. South Warren tied it 2 early on. Here's Morrell. Nice. Morrell has the first 2 buckets of the game for the Raiders. Kyle Benz, the Warren East head coach in his second season. Carlos Corals in his first season as South Warren's head coach. That's Justin Posey out front, gets it over to Brandon Rowe. Goalie over to Linhart. Baseline drive. Nice, and a block. Good defense there by Warren East. They get it back out to Linhart.
Good pass outside by goalie. Good decision.
He didn't get rattled by having his shot blocked, and like Steve Bates said, made a nice pass to Linhart for the tray. 5-4 Spartans. 5:54 to go in the first quarter, just underway. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. There's Isaiah Andrews being guarded by Linhart. Steve and I mentioned we think they're going to shuttle a lot of players on Andrews to guard him. Right now, Warren East getting that secondary score early with Morrell. The three-pointer, no. There's the rebound by Bratcher. Barber,
nice
down low.
pass.
Yeah. Of course, Andrews going to go to the line for free throws.
Andrews catches that ball that deep, that's going to be a problem.
Jarius Barber is going to be playing college football. He was a key player on the Raiders football team.
They didn't call that a shooting foul, okay?
Wow. They called a technical foul. And I'll be honest, I don't know if it was on Kyle Benj or someone on the Warren East
bench. The
bench.
assistant coaches.
Yeah. Well, the assistant coach who's not happy is Philip McKinney. He, of course, is the outstanding softball head coach for Warren East.
I think it was the other assistant coach with a clipboard in his hand.
Okay. Well, there must have been a magic word, Steve, because the ref didn't hesitate to call it. And Posey capitalizes on it. First free throw. And I believe, Steve, South Warren will now get the ball. Yep.
A big mistake.
Yeah. And like Steve said, the Warren East coaches thought it was a shooting foul. And again, the referee did not hesitate to call that technical foul. So South Warren with a 7-4 lead and the ball. Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the first technical foul we've seen on a coach this year.
On a coach, yep. We saw one in a ball game.
Yep.
But that's the first one on a coach.
Yep. Prince, nicely done. After the bucket by South Warren, it's 9-6. And again, we're not sure who the tee was on, and we don't want to belabor it, but it was a big swing. It
was a swing in points.
Yep. 4 points, the free throws, and then the ensuing bucket. South Warren retains possession. Spartans leading 9-6, 4:32 to go in the first quarter. Doubleheader we're bringing you, the girls' game, the first game tonight, which was won by South Warren, 52-40. And Linhart, nope, I stand corrected, that's Wells Bratcher with the rebound, who really brought some good energy for South Warren in our game we did against against Warren Central Friday night. Rowe looking for some help, gets it. Now that's Linhart. And he gets it over to goalie. Good defense by Warren East. South Warren showing good patience. Here's Rowe, the drive, knifes in, nicely done.
Good, yeah.
That was really nice, Steve. Yeah. It's now 11-6 South Warren. And so far, the Spartans have done a nice job defensively on Isaiah Andrews. And I believe they're going to get a 3-second call.
Yep.
So South Warren off to a good start here, leading 11-6. 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Spartans have a chance to extend the lead. Sometimes it's just nice to hear the crowd noise and the sneakers on the floor. I love it.
Get caught up in the game.
Yeah. You get a foul there, and Justin Posio with a free throw. Steve, I remember as a kid watching those games on TV, and you could hear the sneakers on the gym floor. I'd never get tired of that sound. Never get tired of it. Steve, I'll tell you what, Coach Q has to be very happy with his team's start.
Right. I do, yeah, absolutely.
We've talked a lot about the great job that Coach Q has done in his first season. Also, Coach Benj, someone I've enjoyed visiting with in his second season. The Raiders are 9-7. And Raiders are very glad to have him on their coaching tree. As Posey, he's got a good touch from the free throw line.
He did. Nice shot.
Here comes the Spartans' pressure. And here's Andrews with the ball, and there's that Wells Bratcher. Boy, he provides, like your word, Steve, he provides good grit.
Yeah. Just doing the dirty little things that you got to do to be a good defensive team. Nice
pass.
Give and go there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was pretty, Steve. Yeah. That was pretty.
Good passing, good vision.
Posey, the nice pass to Rowe. The bucket, the hoop.
Yeah, Warren East is in a position now they need to be really careful. They get a stop on this run by South Warren. And they've had kind of a drought for points on their own end. They need to get some points.
South Warren's going to sub in for everybody except Brandon Rowe. Braden Parrish is checked in along with Luke Smith, Bryce Button, and Drew Hudson. And Rowe converts on the three-point play. Steve, it's 16-6.
Yeah, that's South Warren's quietly blown this up a little bit, and South Warren needs to get a stop in it. They don't want to stop the bleeding as it was.
Isaiah Andrews is checked out of the game.
He's had an awfully quiet first quarter.
Yep. Morrell, no. And I think they're going to get a foul on South Warren. It's going to stay here. Let's see who that's on. That's on Parrish. So Brendan Bratcher will inbound the ball. Gets it out to Morrell, who has 4 of the Raiders' 6 points. Bratcher Boy, they needed that,
They needed
Steve.
that big.
Wow. Yeah. 16-9, South Warren. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. Steve said before the game he thought South Warren would come out tonight and play and come off to a strong start, and that's exactly what they've done. Here's a steal by the Raiders.
The ball was headed out, but he got it right at the last minute. Good hands by Warren East.
That was Roger Duncan getting that loose ball. Bratcher will try a Steph Curry three. Oh, yeah.
Go.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Q's not going to be happy with giving him 2 open shots.
No, not at all. Boy, in a hurry, Steve.
2 open shots and letting them back in the game.
Yep. Very quickly, it's gone to 4. 16-12 Spartans. Lots of contact there. No foul. And Warren East is going to get the ball. Good defense by Isaiah Gee. And Steve, what that has done in the recent sequence is you can tell it's brought the crowd alive.
Just gave it right back, though.
Oh, that hurts. Yeah. That hurts. So, as Steve mentioned, South Warren gets the ball back. Bryce Button, who, of course, is the starting quarterback for the Spartans football team. Luke Smith. Nice pass to Rowe. Rowe saves it. Nice save by Rowe. Inside to Button. No. And there's Duncan with the rebound. And here comes Bratcher, who's hit back-to-back threes.
He traveled.
Yep. Oh.
He tried to stop, but he couldn't help it. Drug that foot.
Steve, you say that word, you have to say it, but we'll say it over and over. In so many ways, those turnovers are just killers. They never happen at a good time. So the Spartans will get the ball with 46 seconds to go, and South Warren is leading 16-12. Brendan Bratcher's hit back-to-back threes to cut it to 4. Drew Hudson's three is no good, but the Spartans get the offensive rebound.
Good active hands by Warren East.
Yep.
Creates a turnover.
And they get a foul. Is it on Brandon Rowe? Yeah. That's his first foul. Each team's committed 3 fouls in the first quarter. We're down to 32.3 seconds. Isaiah Andrews is checked back in the game. And I stand corrected. Those 2 3-pointers were by Connor Doyle, not Brandon Bratcher. So I stand corrected on that. I'm sorry about that. Connor Doyle, one of the Warren East seniors, number 3. So my apologies to Connor on that. We're down to 5 seconds. This is Andrews, the 3. No. Doyle tracks it down, heaves it up, but it's going to be off the mark. So a couple of Connor Doyle threes brings the Raiders within 4. And Steve, good comeback by the Raiders.
It was, yeah. It was. I was afraid South Warren might take off with a little bit, but good defense on Warren East's end. Kind of stopped the bleeding, and they got a couple of those 2 3-pointers were huge. At that point, it was they were down quite a bit. So, double digits there, and it brought them back into it.
We'll take a quick timeout. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or get up.
That's good. Yeah, we're going to take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
All right, we are ready to start the second quarter at Warren East High School. The South Warren Spartans holding a 16-12 lead after one quarter. Warren East will get the ball. with a chance to cut into that deficit. That's Caden Morrell, who had a couple of early baskets for Warren East. Connor Doyle hit a couple of big threes back-to-back for the Raiders. That shot is short, and Andrew Goley seems to always make good plays for the Spartans. He gets the defensive rebound. Here's Linhart over to Bratcher. Linhart has the ball again. Now it's Brandon Rowe. And they're going to get, ball goes out of bounds, so South Warren will retain possession. So Caden Morrell, who's having a nice first half, gets a breather. Checking in is Kajarius Barber. Goalie over to Linhart. Gets it back over to Rowe. Rowe takes it in. He's going to draw the foul and get a couple of free throws. His shot nearly went in. Steve, what do you like about Brandon Rowe's game?
He's active. You know, he's always looking to slash. He's a good passer. You know, he's a good all-around player. Plays good defense. That's important. You can't just be a scorer on a team. You also have to play the other end.
As I mentioned, Steve and I were leaving South Warren High School last Friday. At the same time Brandon had a chance to go over and offer. Was glad he was physically okay after that scary fall, and then got to visit with him, and no surprise, just a wonderful young man. Carries himself so well. Makes both free throws, 18-12. This is Connor Doyle. Gets it to Andrews. Steve, you got to give credit to South Warren.
Right.
They've defended, yeah.
Yeah, he's really quiet first quarter and first couple minutes of the second quarter. And he's a great player. Don't misunderstand. He's an excellent player.
Here's Goalie. He's going to go to the line for 2 free throws.
South Warren's last 2 possessions been able to get in deep into the lane and get fouled for some free throws.
And Goalie can't convert on the first free throw. He'll get a second shot. South Warren comes into tonight's game with a record of 14-4. Well, Warren East enters tonight's contest with a record of 9-7. 6:31 to go in the first half. South Warren is leading Warren East 18-12. South Warren won the first game tonight, the girls matchup over Warren East 52-40. Misleading final score. The game was much closer than that pretty much the whole way. Both teams giving great effort. Both free throws no good. So here come the Raiders. That's Brendan Bratcher, number 12. That's Connor Doyle, number 3. That's Kajarius Barber, number 41. He gets the spin move against Bratcher. No. Goalie gets the rebound. Here come the Spartans. Kicks it over to Posey. No. That one...
a little bit of excitement in it and a little energy in it.
Yep. So the Spartans get the defensive rebound and are coming right back. Rowe being guarded by Barber, and I feel like he could get the better of this matchup, Steve.
Yeah.
Goes by him.
Andrews helps out.
Yep.
Very nicely done, playing help defense.
Here's Prince to Barber.
Nice. There we go. Maybe that'll get Andrews going here tonight.
Barber, obviously the biggest guy on the court, but don't be fooled by that. This was a key contributor on the football team, and he is very athletic. Good footwork, good hands.
Spin move he made down on the offensive end was nicely done.
It was. And it's now a 4-point game again. There's Goalie. I'll tell you what, Steve, again, he doesn't shoot much, but when he does.
He gets some high percentage shots and delivers.
So Coach Q ready to sub in again. He's going to get Bryce Button in and Drew Hudson, and here comes Rowe with the steal.
He was looking at the rim.
Yeah, he was. And here comes Doyle. That's a great play by Doyle. Barber with the layup. Very nicely done by Doyle looking up court. 20-16.
Got to get a bump there.
Okay. As
crowd didn't like it, but it was a good bump.
Steve's got a good shot in the background there of the Warren East student section, and they're very enthusiastic tonight, and that's a great sight and sound. That's great. They're being supportive of the Raiders. That's great. So South Warren will inbounds with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Spartans up by 4, 20-16. That's Drew Hudson. And I think what they got?
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
On button.
Okay. So Warren East will have a chance to get as close as they've been in a while. They're down 4 right now. The Raiders have never led in this game. It's been tied once at 2-2, besides the obvious tie at the beginning of the game. And the ball goes out of bounds. South Warren will have it. 20-16. Drew Hudson gets it over to Andrew Linhart. Drew Hudson thought about it, but Caden Morrell with good defense by Warren East. Here's Brandon Rowe. Was a fun matchup, Steve.
Well, it's a matchup of elite athletes right there.
Oh. And I believe they've got Andrews with the foul.
Yeah. No. 13 maybe.
Okay. Yes. That's on Prince. Yeah. Again,
I'm just trying to see the referee's fingers when he holds it
yeah.
up.
And forgive me, Steve, right where that's happening, where we are, there's some banners here. So
yeah.
Sometimes I'm obstructed. I'm not complaining, just stating I'm a little slow sometimes trying to get the vantage point there as the free throw's no good. Again, the leaders here at Warren East are so wonderful to work with. Second free throw, good. Principal Jonathan Vincent, Athletic Director Brandon Combs, and Assistant Athletic Director Patrick White.
And they greeted us at the door, had our electricity pulled for us. Yeah, they do a great job out here, very accommodating, and you know, it's great once you've done something once or twice and they learn what you need and it's already waiting for you. That's awesome.
Well said.
We hate to ask people for things, you know, you don't. They've got a lot of things going on, getting ready to start the game, and you know, you always hate to ask, but sometimes we just don't have any choice.
Very well said, Steve, and I just echo what you just said. Very true. Bryce Button with the jumper. Nice. Very nice. Spartans up 7, 23-16. And we are nearing the 3-minute mark in the first half. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. And the ball is on the floor. Great to see all the diving. Great effort. And the Spartans get it. Here comes Drew Hudson. He takes it in. No. Andrews gets the rebound. Here come the Raiders. Andrews, Doyle thought about it, and he's got the range from there. We've seen it. You got to credit Linhart, Steve. So far, he's done a great job.
That's good defense right there. You know, Andrews just makes a phenomenal shot.
Yeah.
He's an elite athlete. Sometimes you play great defense and they're still going to make the shots, and you just come back and play good defense the next possession.
As TV analyst Mark Jackson likes to say, good defense, better offense.
Right.
That was what happened there. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Warren East ball, so it's 23-18. South Warren leading Warren East. 2:05 to go in the first half, and Andrew Goley is guarding Connor Doyle. That's Caleb Prince getting it over to Caden Morrell. Morrell drives against Drew Hudson. No, but he's going to get a foul. And so Morrell will go to the line for a couple of free throws. Morrell's a tough matchup, Steve, because he's strong.
And he's got good footwork. He's got a good shot. You know, he is strong.
So with 1:51 to go in the first half, Morrell's first free throw is no good. And That is Isaiah Gee checking back into the game for Connor Doyle, who hit those back-to-back three-pointers to make a 10-point deficit, a 4-point deficit. And speaking of 4-point deficit, that's what it is now. 23-19. Full court pressure by Warren East, Steve. They get the ball to the right guy, Brandon Rowe. That's Bryce Button. No. And the rebound to Linhart. He'll try for three. I don't know if that's a shot Coach Q wanted.
Set your offense.
Yeah.
Play your game.
And again, Andrew Linhart has done such a good job in the first half defensively on Isaiah Andrews. And he's guarding Andrews again. Morrell after the screen set by Andrews. Good defense again by the Spartans. Steve, I've been impressed by the Spartans' D in the first half.
Yeah, I have too.
Rowe with the ball now, and he's fouled by Gee. Warren East, that is their 8th foul, so South Warren is in the bonus. Rowe will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Of course, Isaiah Gee, his brother is on the team, Simon Gee. They're checking Connor Doyle back into the game. Brendan Bratcher checks back in. So Rowe has a 1-and-1. Yep. That makes it 24-19 with 1:07 left in the first half. Second one good. 25-19. As Coach Q's going to try to get Luke Smith in here before the end of the half. He's got to wait for another dead ball situation. South Warren only committed 4 fouls. Here's Bratcher. Andrews, again, he's been defended very well by Linhart in the first half. Shot there, no good. Button with a nice save to Rowe. And Rowe passes out of the double team to goalie. 32 seconds left in the half. Rowe, this time being guarded by Bratcher.
Boy,
yeah,
he got pushed around in a lot of different directions down there.
Well, and that ball, good effort by both teams.
Yeah.
Doyle diving to try to save it, but can't quite do it. Good effort, though. Ball will stick with the Spartans, and Luke Smith will check in for goalie with 18.4 seconds left, and South Warren leading 25-19. And so Rowe being guarded by Andrews. We're down to 10 seconds. So here goes Rowe. Well aware of the clock. That's Hudson. No. Rebound by Button, but the time runs out.
Just ran out of time.
Yep. 25-19, South Warren leading at halftime, Steve.
Good half,
yep.
Entertaining half. Both teams pretty evenly matched right now.
South Warren's defense has been very good. Credit to Warren East for slicing a 10-point deficit down to 4. And Steve, we got a game at halftime. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. And we will be back in a couple of minutes with more on this matchup. You are watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Preps Fan.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Yeah, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
All right, welcome back to Warren East High School. Once again, the Warren East High School pep band sounding terrific here, performing both games of the doubleheader. Girls game was won by South Warren 52-40, and South Warren leading the boys game 25-19. And Steve, a lot of factors in this first half, but you got to just give a major salute to the defense that Andrew Linhart of South Warren is playing against Warren East Isaiah Andrews.
Andrews is an elite player, and you know, even elite players have games where they're going to score more, they're going to score less. You know, the one thing that Warren East has going is they've had a couple other guys. Caden Morrell stepped up early in the game, and then, you know, the 2 3-pointers were a great shot in the arm. And, you know, 6-point lead at halftime, that, you know, that's not an awful deficit to climb out of. But South Warren's played good defense. You know, Rowe has worked hard this first half. He's scored several points. Been to the free throw line several times. You know, it's been an all-around group effort from South Warren also. South Warren coming back on the court to get loosened up for the second half.
And Steve, on the Warren East side, somehow...
Well, they weren't in there long. You can imagine Coach Q is not unhappy with them and wants them to hold the course and continue to put out that effort.
Well, you know, by the way, that's what I've noticed with Coach Q. He gets them back out there quickly. Remember the game Friday? They were out there quickly, and then Warren
Central came out right before the second half began.
Yeah.
We were beginning to worry about it.
Yep. So somehow, Coach Bench and his coaching staff, they've got to find some ways to get Isaiah Andrews in a great scoring position.
Right.
And
he's a great slasher, great penetrator,
and
you know, as long as South Warren plays that zone, you know, it takes away a lot of those avenues.
Steve, I do want to touch on something. You texted me a couple of things, and we'll talk more about this, but we will have a number of contests for our spring sports schedule, and we're in the process of working on that. And Steve, the sports will include baseball, softball,
track and field,
lacrosse, hopefully.
Yep.
I don't know about you. I'm excited.
Yep. See a lot of great sports in the spring. Best thing to me is it means eventually it's going to warm up. Now, you know, we talked the last time, the first track meet of the year is freezing, and the last track meet of the year is hot. And that's in a lot of ways, that's the way baseball and softball is, because, you know, we're not going to be too many weeks away from some early baseball and softball games.
Of course, speaking of track and field, Warren East hosts a really nice meet every year, the annual Raider Relays. And we, if everything works out, we plan to live stream that meet. We did last spring, thoroughly enjoyed it. And
there'll be one late in the year. It's usually here at Warren East, where they honor all the senior athletes from all 4 schools. And I'm not sure. I believe they include Bowling Green in that also, and they recognize the seniors out on the track before the track meet starts. That's really a neat time. And
that has to be.
Honestly, you know, it's be good for me. I've got a senior this year, so we'll try to nail down that. Even if we, you know, I have a feeling this spring we may be traveling a lot of different places in one day. Sometimes I know, for example, at Greenwood we could be playing baseball, softball, and have a track meet all at the same time. Except we won't have track meets at Greenwood this year. I think all their home track meets will be at Warren Central this year. So,
and the reason for that is Steve and I talked about their renovating
those facilities at Greenwood. I know the Great Gator, which is Greenwood's home track meet, which is usually a big event, will be at Warren Central. I believe the first track meet comes up in about the second week of March. Believe it or not, last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we might have done 2 track meets right at the end of February. Oh, mercy.
Where were those meets held, Steve?
They were held at Greenwood.
Okay.
On Thursday night, so you got night meets. No, I take it back. Those were on Saturdays.
Okay.
Because you could do them during the day, which would be just a tiny bit warmer. Of course, March, you can have 70 days, and you can have 40 days and 30 days. So, you can have temperatures all over the place. But, a lot of times we may be able to get baseball and softball in the same days at the same locations.
We are about 2 minutes and 45 seconds away from the start of the second half. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Good crowd tonight here at Warren East.
It is. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back, talk a little bit more about this boys basketball matchup, which South Warren leads 25-19. We'll be right back with more from the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
All right, welcome back to Warren East High School. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. Steve, let's follow up on your comment right before the break. You're impressed with the crowd tonight. Good crowd, and they're enthusiastic. They're into this game tonight.
Yeah. Good both student teams. Section. Good crowd on both sides.
We're less than a minute away from the start of the second half, and the Spartans of South Warren leading the Raiders of Warren East 25-19. The first game tonight, girls basketball matchup. South Warren defeated Warren East by a final of 52-40. Steve and I have had some good-natured fun with South Warren. Every game we live streamed of South Warren girls basketball, they won. So congratulations to Lane Embry and his coaching staff and the Lady Spartan student athletes. As we are just moments away from starting in what has been a low-scoring first half. And the Spartans will get the ball to start the second half.
Look, we got some young fans here.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do. That's a great sight. So Brandon Rowe will inbound the ball at half court for the Spartans. They'll have Andrew Goley, Justin Posey, Andrew Linhart, and Wells Bratcher. That's who started the game for South Warren. Kajarius Barber is starting the second half for Warren East, along with Caden Morrell, Caleb Prince, Caden Morrell. As I mentioned, Connor Doyle is starting the second half for Warren East, and of course Isaiah Andrews. So here we go, underway. Spartans up 6. And Prince with good defense, good hustle. And Goley, that's the right call, Steve. That's a foul by Goley. Good defense and hustle by Prince. So the Raiders get the start that they wanted. And they have the ball with a chance to cut the deficit to 4 and perhaps 3 points. So Caleb Prince brings the ball up court. He's a freshman. He gets it over to Connor Doyle. He's a sophomore. Here's Barber. Like Steve said, he's got good footwork. Three-pointer is short. Might have been tipped. Here comes Brandon Rowe. That's Posey. Gets it to Andrew Goley. Now it's Andrew Linhart who did such a...
Running the weave there, Mike.
I'm flashing back to the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Yep. Rowe kicks it out to Linhart. No. And Barber with the rebound. Barber has given some good minutes for Coach Benj this game. No. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be South Warren ball. Steve, Brandon Combs, the athletic director for Warren East, on the Lawson sisters that play for Warren East. They all look alike.
Yeah.
And there's reason I say that. Two of them are sophomores and they're twins. The other one, I thought they might have been triplets, but one of them's a senior. So twins and then an older sister. And obviously key components to Jenny Neville and the Warren East girls basketball team, as they gave a great effort tonight despite falling up short on the scoreboard. Pass into Linhart, over to Bratcher. Yep, they're going to get him for a double dribble. Steve, you said this often. When you try to dribble the ball down low.
Right. It's just bad things happen.
Yep.
When you put it on the ground.
Yep. So the Spartans with full court pressure. Doyle gets it into Morrell. It goes back and they get a kick. So Warren East will inbounds the ball again. And it's 25-19. Still, we played 2 minutes and still waiting for our first points of this second half. That's Andrews. That's a three. There we go.
There we go. Might get him going.
There you go. And, Steve, we're going to keep it right here. I'll ask you to speculate here, Steve. Why do you think that Coach Benj called the timeout here?
I don't know. He might have seen something that caught his attention. He wanted to adjust his defense a little bit, or, he must have seen something that he thought he could use up a timeout and get some advantage off of.
And not only that, that three-pointer now suddenly made it a three-point game.
Right.
So 5:47 to go in the third quarter.
You get within three, and you want to try to make a defensive stand here.
Yes. And Steve, again, a big salute to Warren East, because South Warren, I thought early on, had Warren East on the ropes.
Yep.
And those back-to-back threes by Connor Doyle really energized the crowd, brought them within four. And since then, it's been between a 4- and 6-point game, and now it's just a 3-point deficit. So here comes Warren East out of the huddle. Part of it, I was wondering, Steve, I wonder if Warren East might full court press, but looks like that's not going to be the case. So the Spartans inbound, leading 25-22, 5:43 to go in the third quarter. Second game of this doubleheader. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. That's Wells Bratcher with the ball. Now Andrew Linhart has it. That's Justin Posey. Now it's Andrew Goley. And Goley drives it, kicks it over to Justin Posey, the three ball. Not quite. And Barber, and I think they're going to get a foul on
Bratcher.
Yep. Good effort by Barber. Bratcher with a good effort as well, but they're going to say that Bratcher reached in. Steve, it seems like that South Warren has gotten away from attacking the basket on offense. There's Barber out to Andrews. Now Linhart's back guarding him. Spin move. Hey, again, Steve, good defense by Linhart, better offense by Andrews. And now, lo and behold, Steve, it's a 1-point game. And I think
Warren stepped out of bounds.
Yep. Now Warren East will have a chance to take their first lead of the game. Got to give Warren East a lot of credit. They hung in there. They responded. Got the crowd into it. Now they have a chance to take their first lead of the game with 4:38 to go in the third quarter. And Steve, Isaiah Andrews is starting to warm up. I'll tell you what, Steve, there might have been a foul there. No call. Looked like there might have been contact. Play goes on, though. Goalie drives, layup, no. Barber's had a nice game.
Doing a great job on the rebounding end.
Burrell, drive, shot, no. They got an offensive foul. And that man, Andrew Linhart, drawing the charge. So we got Wells Bratcher checking out, Justin Posey checking out, Drew Hudson checks in, Bryce Button checks in. So South Warren still trying to score their first points here in the second half. We played nearly 4 minutes in the third quarter. Steve, I'm looking down there. They're checking something with the scores table. Charles Lewis, the Hall of Famer at Warren East that runs the clock, was talking with one of the referees. They got that squared away. So Caden Morrell guarding Andrew Goalie. That's Andrew Linhart over to Drew Hudson. There's Bryce Button. No. Morrell the rebound. Brings
South Warren just settling for the outside shot.
Wow.
That's what he's capable of.
Oh boy. Isaiah Andrews with the flush, and Warren East has their first lead of the game. Shot, no. And they're going to get a foul. I think it's on Andrews.
Yeah.
Goalie will go to the line for two. And Steve, goalie I thought definitely got fouled.
Right, yeah.
And the foul is on Andrews. It's they list him as he's fouled out. That's not the case.
No.
I believe it's only his second foul. Now, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it's 26-25 Warren East. 3:24 to go in the third quarter. Steve, no other way to say it, South Warren's just gone flat out cold.
Yeah, they have. Well, they're settling for shots.
Yep. Barber's checking out, and Steve, I don't think he'll be out of the game very long.
No, neither. He's been a force on the rebounding end.
Yep. And they got?
Lane violation.
Yep. Steve, I'm going to say this. This is a pet peeve of mine. A player should never commit a lane violation on a free throw.
Right.
Never. It's one of those that will give
nothing.
coach,
Nothing good is going to come from it.
Yep. And there's Roger Duncan, and it's a 3-point lead. And Steve, I'm wondering if Coach Q's pretty close to getting a timeout.
Yeah, he's looking intently.
Down low to Rowe. Wow. Oh, Steve, how did that not go in? Oh, my. And Brandon Rowe will go to the line for 2 free throws. No, Steve, I was going to say those free throw violations will give coaches gray hair or make them go bald. Rowe, free throw, first points of the second half for South Warren. And it's now a 2-point game as Brendan Bratcher comes back in for Caden Morrell. And again, Morrell, I think, is just going to get a brief rest. 3:03 to go as Rowe will try his second free throw. It's good. And South Warren's back within 1. Here comes Caleb Prince. Gets it in the corner. I believe that's Brendan Bratcher over to Connor Doyle. Being guarded by Luke Smith. There's Andrews. Linhart defending him. Good defense again, and they get the steal. Here comes Brandon Rowe. He takes it in. Contact, and I think they're going to get Bratcher on the foul, and Rowe's going to go to the line for 2. So Rowe will have a chance to get the lead back for the Spartans. He's hit the first one. It's a tie game. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. 2:41 to go in the third quarter. Prep Sprint bringing us your live stream, and we thank the world for them for doing that. Second free throw, no, and we have a tie game. Raiders with the ball.
Andrews got good position there. Want to clear out for him.
Wow. And we get a foul there. And, Steve, if that's on Andrews, that is. That's his third foul. Yeah. Steve, you know, some of the fans wanted a foul there, but I thought Linhart went straight up. I thought it was good defense.
It was good defense.
Yeah. And he's got the right to go straight up and contest a shot. Warren East is in a zone. That's Luke Smith out front, gets it over to Linhart. Rowe gets it over to Hudson. No. Duncan with the rebound. And gets it over to Prince, and here come the Raiders in a tie game under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rowe defending Prince. Nice ball handling by Prince. And he's going to go to the line for two. Well, I see why Coach Bench plays Caleb Prince as a freshman. He's got some ball handling skills, Steve. And here's another development. Actually, that's Brandon Rowe's second foul. So Prince makes the first free throw. And checking in again is Isaiah Gee, one of the Warren East seniors. Connor Doyle checks out. Second free throw, no. And Luke Smith has the rebound, and Warren East has a 1-point lead. One thing about Prince, he plays hard on defense. He's a ball hawk.
Warren East defense is bothering South Warren.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
The one advantage that South Warren has, Steve, is when Brandon Rowe takes the ball to the basket, Warren East doesn't have an answer for him. He's either getting a basket or he's going to the free throw line.
Next foul will put South Warren in the bonus also.
And, Steve, we still have a lot of basketball left.
More than a quarter.
Yeah. As Rowe has tied the game, and now he'll try to give the Spartans the lead again. And no, so we're tied again. Yeah, minute 29 to go in the third quarter. As Steve mentioned, South Warren is in the bonus already. Three ball, no. Here comes the Spartans. Prince goes to the steal, no. Smith, no. And Prince gets the rebound. No. Button with the loose ball. Basket good. Great hustle by Bryce Button.
Damn.
That was a wild sequence. 31-29, South Warren. Andrews going up against Linhart. And what great effort by both teams. I'll say it again, Steve. I cannot say enough good things about the defense by Linhart. Great hustle by Andrews. And he gets a timeout. We'll keep it here. 44.4 seconds left. We get a timeout with South Warren leading 31-29. And, Steve, I thought you brought up a great point. Warren East defensively has really been rattling South Warren here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they've been playing some really tough defense.
Steve, I've been having a blast tonight. These have been a couple of really good ball games. Enjoyed it. So here we are. We'll keep it here. We'll take a break at the end of the third quarter. Right now it's 31-29. South Warren leading Warren East. 44.4 seconds left in the third quarter. South Warren has led most of the game. Warren East earlier in this quarter took their first lead in the game on a drive and dunk by Isaiah Andrews. And again, you can hear the background, the Warren East pep band. Steve's got a shot of the Warren East student section there on the left side of the screen. They've been a very lively group. South Warren brought a lot of fans. And Been a fun night as we're about ready to resume action as Warren East will inbound the ball. Oh. Cade Morrell is back in the game for the Raiders. He's the gentleman inbounding the ball. Now Caleb Prince is being guarded by Brandon Rowe. He passes it to Andrews, but there's Luke Smith. They get a jump ball, and looks like the arrow's with Warren East.
Yeah, Raider ball.
Yep. Roger Duncan checks back in. Kajarius Barber is in, so Warren East has some size in their lineup. What do they call there? Fallon Linhart on the inbounds play? I believe so.
Yep.
Now, if that was an alley-oop, he might get 2 free throws, but I don't think they're saying that's the case. What are they going to call here? Yeah, it's an out of bounds. That's South Warren's 4th foul of the second half. Uh-oh. Prince tracks down the errant inbounds pass. 25 seconds left. Here's Barber. You know what, Steve? He's got good hands.
Get rewarded for putting yourself in a good position.
Tie game. 12 seconds left. Spartans holding for the final shot. That's Drew Hudson with the ball. Over to Linhart. Over to Button. No. There's the rebound. Good defense by Warren East. Steve, we have a really good ball game going on. 31-31 after 3 quarters. We'll take a break, come back with the 4th quarter. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're going to need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
We're back at Warren East High School, ready to start the 4th quarter. Steve, things stand to start the 4th quarter as they stood to start the game. Yeah. Tie game. South Warren has the ball to start the quarter. That's inside to Luke Smith. No. Good defense by Barber. Good effort by Smith. Gets his own rebound. There's Prince with the steal. And the Raiders will have a chance here to regain the lead. We just started the 4th quarter. We'll tie it at 31. There's Barber. Button goes down, but Barber, say it again, Steve, he's had a strong game. Kajarius Barber has had a really strong game. There's Drew Hudson. Yes, we're tied again, 33 all. Steve, I don't know about you, I'm having a lot of fun with this doubleheader tonight.
Yeah, this game's got all the makings of coming down to the wire.
Do you get the feeling, Steve, that we might get some bonus basketball?
Yeah, we could. Get a little extra. Give everybody more for their money.
Hey, we've had double overtime this year, so we're used to it. Ball goes out of bounds, so South Warren will get it. South Warren is in the bonus as Warren East has committed 6 fouls here in the second half. South Warren has committed 14 fouls. And see, I'm looking over there, Steve. It looks like we're about ready to resume play. I think. Yep, we're ready. Carlos Corals, the South Warren head coach, holds up the number 5 sign. Brandon Rowe being guarded by Isaiah Andrews. That has been a wonderful matchup to watch. And again, lots of credit to the defense that Andrew Linhart has played against Andrews. And very good defense there by Andrews.
Andrews just long.
Yep.
You know, he's got a lot of length on him. Tall, long arms.
Steve Andrews is listed at 6'6", but he's got the wingspan of someone like 6'10".
Yep.
Nice drive there by Doyle, but the shot won't go. Here comes Rowe, gets it out to Linhart. Andrews contests it, but a nice strong drive to the hoop by Linhart, and the Spartans have regained the lead up 2 as we near the 6-minute mark. Cade Morrell kicks it over to Doyle. Now over to Prince, the 3. No. Smith with the rebound. Up court to Rowe. Rowe kicks it over to Hudson. No. And they're going to get Bratcher on a push-off, Steve. Now that's the 15th foul on the Spartans this half. That's only Bratcher's second foul of the game. As checking in for Warren East is Brendan Bratcher, and he'll replace Connor Doyle. So here come the Raiders. They're trailing by 2 with 5:35 to go in the contest. Wells.
That's a push-off. They got to call that one, Mike. As great of a player he is, you can't push off like that.
And that was certainly not a flop on behalf of the South
He
Warren
extended his arm.
There's Hudson. Nope.
South Warren's just content to take three-point shots, and that's just not their offense all the time. They've got more offense than that, like that.
Nicely done by Rowe. And now South Warren leads by 4. And Brandon Rowe is imploring his teammates to step on the defensive end. No. And here come the Spartans. Drew Hudson gets it over to Rowe. Rowe gets it up to Linhart. Nice pass. Nice pass. And I'll tell you what, Kyle Benj is going to get a timeout. We'll get it. We'll keep it right here, but Warren East gets a timeout. And Steve, on both ends here, Brandon Rowe really has spearheaded this run.
Right.
He just has such a well-rounded game, doesn't he?
He does, and we've got an elite athlete on both sides of this contest, and we've seen the momentum go back and forth with him.
So South Warren on that run, and they now lead by 6, 39-33, with 6 minutes to go, or I said 4:44 to go in the game. Or I should say the fourth quarter, because you never know, you get bonus basketball. And Steve, I thought you made a great point a couple of moments ago. South Warren has been at their best offensively when they're not settling for three-point shots. When they're attacking the basket, mainly it's been Brandon Rowe attacking the basket. That's when the best things have happened to them.
When they're running the movement in their offense, they're moving without the ball, they're making themselves available for passes. That's when they're going to be at their best.
And right now, South Warren has been at their best, I should say, in the last minute, as they have stretched their lead to 6. 39-33. We're about ready to resume play. Warren East will inbound the ball. Again, South Warren's in the bonus. Warren East has committed 16 fouls. The next foul by South Warren will put Warren East in the bonus, as South Warren's committed 5 team fouls. So here's Caleb Prince handling the ball. He gets it over to Cade Morrell. Inside to Kajarius Barber, being guarded by Wells Bratcher. Shot no good. And I think they're going to get
hell ball.
Okay. Steve, I'll give Wells Bratcher a lot of credit, but that is a tough matchup for him trying to guard Barber. Bratcher's playing hard, but man, that's they're going to get it out of bounds. Oh boy. That's not what Warren East wanted, to say the least. And Coach Benj is subbing in a couple players, getting in Isaiah Gee. Roger Duncan is checking out. Roger Duncan actually checking in. He's guarding the inbounds pass. Here's Linhart, who's done such a good job defensively on Andrews. There's Rowe, I should say. Pass, and they're going to get a travel. So Connor Doyle and Kajarius Barber. See, was it just me, or did it seem like Kajarius Barber
just went out?
Yeah.
About 3 dribbles ago.
Yeah. All right.
Going offense, defense.
Yeah, I think you're right. So it's a 39-33 South Warren lead. Warren East with the ball. 4:10 to go in the contest. Morrell being guarded by Drew Hudson. That's Connor Doyle being guarded by Luke Smith. Caleb Prince being guarded by Brandon Rowe, the runner. Good. Way to use the glass, Steve.
Yeah.
And it's 39-35. That's Wells Bratcher being guarded by Kajarius Barber. Friends call him Jari.
Mike was a lot of contact there, my friend.
He takes it in. Oh, no.
A lot of contact.
Yeah. I don't know how that layup didn't go in, but South Warren's going to get a timeout.
I think Coach Q is asking about that contact over there, too.
I think so, too.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll keep it right here, Steve. Yeah, there was a lot of contact there. And, you know, credit to Coach Q, Steve. He is not demonstrative with the officials. He'll communicate with them, but what do you think Coach Q's telling his players right now?
Settle down.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's 39-35. South Warren leading Warren East, 3:14 to go in the game. South Warren has led most of the game. They've led by as many as 10. Warren East has led briefly. Their biggest lead has been 3 points. First game tonight, South Warren defeated Warren East in the girls' game, 52-40. And we mentioned it a lot, but for South Warren, Brandon Rowe's been getting it done offensively. Andrew Linhart getting it done defensively. And for Warren East, Kajarius Barber is having a terrific ball game for the Raiders. So here we go, 3:09 to go in the game. South Warren with the ball in the lead, up 4. Rowe to Bratcher to Hudson. That's Linhart. There's Rowe. You know, Steve, we haven't seen Posey much in the second half. Drive by Rowe. What a block by Andrews. That's just great defense by Andrews. Barber gets the rebound. Long 3 by Doyle. Yes! And it's a 1-point game. And Warren East gets a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Oh boy, Steve. We got a ball game. Connor Doyle's got some range on that 3 ball.
It's an interesting timeout by Warren East, you know.
Yep.
Some people might think, let them play. Your kids switch the momentum. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of it.
And, of course, the scoreboard does have here the number of timeouts left. And, Steve, we have 2:36 left. And I'm glad you brought that up. South Warren, according to the scoreboard, has 4 timeouts left. Warren East has 1. So that's another development. The foul situation, South Warren's in the bonus. Warren East will be in the bonus the next foul that the Spartans commit, as the Spartans will inbound. And they are ahead 39-38. As Connor Doyle just hit his 3rd 3 of the game to bring Warren East within 1, and Raiders going man-to-man, full-court press. There's Brandon Rowe being guarded by
That's
Morrell.
a lot of contact there, too, Mike.
Yeah.
They got to call something or it's going to get out of hand.
Yep. And it looks like Rowe is limping right now. I hope he's okay. Seemed like he came down wrong on his left leg there going along the baseline. Not the baseline, but the sideline. And you're right, Steve. Coach Benj is subbing offense for defense. So Rowe will go to the line. This is a 1-and-1. First free throw short. Andrews with the rebound, and the Raiders can take the lead. We're under 2.5 minutes left. Rowe is guarding Caleb Prince, and that is Drew Hudson guarding Caden Morrell. Andrews in the lane against Linhart. Steve, again, good defense by Linhart, better offense by Andrews, and Warren East has the lead. 40-39 Raiders. Not much you can do about that, Steve. Andrews made a tough shot. We're under 2 minutes left in the game, 1:54 to be exact. And again, keep an eye on that timeout situation. South Warren has plenty. They have 4. Warren East has just 1. There's Rowe. Goalie. Drives against Morrell. He got no man's land there as Andrews came over to help out. Bratcher, the pass inside to Rowe, nicely done. And South Warren has regained the lead, 41-40. 1:23 to go in the game. What a game. Boy, this is what Steve and I live for. Games going down to the wire. Morrell with the ball for the Raiders.
You know they got to be looking for Andrews. He'll flash into the paint here in a minute.
He's right now posting up, being guarded. Morrell, nice. Steve, that was with his opposite hand. That was with his right hand, and he's a lefty. Tough shot. And Warren East is up 42-41. We have 54 seconds left in the game. Do you think Coach Q will take a timeout?
I don't know. He might, but you want to keep your kids in the flow of the game. They scored on the last possession, but you're right, he is.
We'll keep it right here. 41.6 seconds left. Now, Steve, I'm going to give you a chance to be the South Warren head coach. Who do you want to start handling the ball in this half-court set? And better yet, who do you want to see take the shot?
Well, I like what happened their last possession when they were moving the ball well. Rose snuck in behind for a back door, got the ball. You know, if you get him at the goal with the ball, he can put it in. I think you want to go through goalie. You know, he's your point guard. He handles the ball. But you also have to be in position to rebound also.
You know, Steve, and I do want to say one thing about Isaiah Andrews. We talked about how good he is offensively. I think he's very underrated defensively.
Right. He's played some good defense tonight.
And really good in the help defense area.
You know, I think Morrell's underestimated on the offensive end too.
He is.
He's made some great shots tonight.
He's just so strong. So Brandon Rowe will inbound the ball, and Isaiah Andrews will be guarding that inbounds pass. 41.6 seconds left. Warren East is leading South Warren 42-41. And goalie has got the ball right now. Bless you,
Excuse
Steve.
me.
Yep. We're down to 31 seconds left. Prince guarding goalie. He dribbles down low, gets it over to Hudson. That's Linhart. Linhart, the shot, no. Bratcher, no. Linhart over to Hudson. 3, no. Ball goes out of bounds. Who's it off? South Warren ball. Or I say Warren East ball. Warren East ball. And Steve, other than inbounding the ball, you know what my issue was there? You know who didn't touch the ball?
Rowe.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah. Warren East ball. 12.9 seconds left. Raiders up.
You don't get a
1.
steal on the inbounds, you should foul, which they did.
And they had to now, Steve, because now Warren East is in the bonus. That's the 6th foul. So Warren East will get the ball inbounds again. Now, Coach Q looked like he was pointing out a certain player for South Warren to foul. This will be interesting to watch. That's not, wow, I'm surprised they fouled Andrews. I was wondering if they were trying to point to fouling Brendan Bratcher, who I don't think's taken a shot the whole game. But, of course, if you foul away from the ball, you could call an intentional foul, so makes sense. regardless, at the worst, Southmore's going to get a chance to tie the game here. Right now, I think Coach Benj is wondering if he makes both free throws, if he calls timeout to set up his defense. Nope, and Southmore's got the ball. Here we go. Here we go. That's Goley with the drive. Very nice. No! Rebound by Andrews. They foul him with 1.1 second. Oh, Steve Andrews.
Wow, he had a good, nice look at the goal.
He certainly did. Oh. Andrew Goley has a look on his face like, I couldn't have had a better look at it, and it just would not drop. So here's where we are, 1.1 second left. Isaiah Andrews will have a 1-and-1. And the Raiders have a 1-point lead. Now, Steve, there is enough time left on the clock. Yep, Coach Q's going to call a timeout. We'll keep it here. So, Steve, here's the thing right now. The Spartans have enough time to get a quick rebound, a pass, and a shot. It's got to be fast.
And it's got to be accurate.
Yes.
Of course, if you're Warren East, you're telling them you can't foul. If Andrews misses a free throw and they throw down the court, you can't foul them because you're going to put them at the free throw line.
Right.
And they only need one to tie it. Of course, these free throws would be big for Andrews. If he could hit both of them, that would put him up by 3.
And again, it's just a 1-and-1. So, Steve, there's no way Coach Benz would tell Andrews to intentionally miss this.
No way. No, because he doesn't have anybody in the lane.
And that's
so if he misses it, he's giving it to South Warren.
Yep. And that's a good move by Coach Benz to keep his other.
You don't want any fouls.
Yep.
A foul on a rebound, no time ticks off.
Now, Steve, let's see who they put on the lane here. They're going to have Brandon Rowe there, Bryce Button, Andrew Linhart, and Andrew Goley. Yep, you can see Rowe is signaling they want a timeout. They're going to get one right now. Yep, they got it right now. So 0.4 of a second went off.
Wow.
And you saw Brandon Rowe said we want a timeout as soon as. Okay, Steve, and I think you made a great point. They could throw. They've got time for a catch and shoot. But the paramount thing that Kyle Benj is telling his players, no matter what, do not.
You can't foul.
You cannot foul.
I would imagine the referees are conscious of this situation too, and they're not going to call, just anything a foul. It's going to. But, if you're Warren East, you have to be aware of that. You cannot foul and put them at the free throw line because they potentially could win it.
Steve, you know who I would have inbound the ball for South Warren?
Who?
Think of football. Bryce Button. Yeah.
Well, you got to put a shooter down the court.
Yep. And guess who's inbounding the ball, Steve? Yeah. So I think, Steve, your two shooters.
I think Warren East is smart to put a man on the person inbounding it, just distracting. Do whatever.
Very good move because they cannot move. Long pass, no. Good defense.
Yeah, that's all you could do if you're South Warren.
Yep. Good game, Steve. This has been a really good game. And a good win for the Raiders. Good win. 42-41. Warren East defeats South Warren tonight for their 10th win of the season. Steve, first and foremost, let's talk about Warren East. They came from 10 down, and their defense was really good. I thought Isaiah Andrews played really good defense, hit some key shots, but
he woke up, offensively in that second half, and that was, that was a game changer. That baseline drive and dunk he had in the second half, that seemed to wake the Warren East offense up.
Really did, and Kajarius Barber had a great game. And I'll tell you who gets the best timing of the night is Connor Doyle with his three-point shot.
Yeah.
On the South
But
Warren.
Doyle and Morrell,
Yeah.
offensively, they kept Warren East in the game in the first half. Kind of keeping them in the game until Andrews did come to life there in the second half. So I think both those guys offensively deserve a lot of credit.
And on the South Warren side, got to give a lot of credit to the defensive job that Andrew Linhart did on Isaiah Andrews.
I mean, the first half, he was quiet.
And Brandon Rowe had a solid offensive game for the Spartans. But it is Warren East defeating South Warren. And, Steve, I think it's a testament to both teams' defense as what the final score is, 42-41.
It's a fairly low-scoring game.
Yep. Well, Steve, here we are just a couple of minutes after tonight's doubleheader ended. Your immediate thoughts on the two games that we watched tonight?
Great games. You can tell that all four squads involved are coming down through the stretch of their season. The beginning of the game, you don't see those early game jitters. They get into the flow quick. I was impressed by all four teams tonight.
Steve, our next live stream will be Friday night, January 27th. We'll be at Warren Central as they will host Warren County Public Schools' rival Greenwood. The girls' game will start at 6. The boys' game right after that. Steve, your thoughts on those two games?
Well, hang on. Anytime Central takes a court, it could be a track meet, and I look forward to seeing Greenwood with their starting backcourt intact and see if that makes a difference in the outcome of the game. I expect we've seen Warren Central's girls improve every time they have a good backcourt themselves with Kennedy Robinson and Ida Akhmedova. Ida, she can score in a lot of different ways. She's got that scorer's mentality, and of course we know Greenwood girls are a quality squad, so that's going to be a great game also.
All right, just to recap, the girls' game tonight, our first game won by South Warren by a final of 52-40 over Warren East. The boys' game, Warren East rallies from a 10-point deficit in a game that went down to the wire as the Raiders defeat the Spartans by a final of 42-41, and it was a white knuckler. What a dandy of a ball game. Steve's been a lot of fun. We'll see you again 3 nights from now.
Yep.
All right. That'll do it for tonight. Again, thanks to William Warfield, the CEO and co-owner of Prep Spin. Thank you for watching our live stream here on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We'll be back with you 3 nights from now. Get the word out about us. We love any support we get. We appreciate it. And we will see you Friday night from Warren Central High School. Be safe. Take care. And again, thanks again for everything. Good night.